complex, but tis gone.
How dare you.
I know. Thank you for joining us for session 2 of this game, which we are playing today. This is a D&D 5th edition game set in the, I guess, roaring 20s is what we're calling it, in a fantasy world. Like I said, second session. If you missed the first one, it's up on YouTube. But I don't think you missed out on a whole lot. It was a lot of kind of introducing the characters a little bit, as far as any story stuff. If we have any new people here today, you won't be too far behind. But a couple of announcements before we jump into the game. We had our latest episode of Wonderworld Origins, the continuation of our superhero teenage adventure game. It's another RPG using the Masks system, which is based on the Powered by the Apocalypse system. We've played a few sessions of it now. It's a lot of fun. It's a precursor to the we played a game called Wonderworld using the Cypher system a while back. That's all up on YouTube as well. But this is a precursor to that. Not a requirement that you watch the first one, but we're having a lot of fun doing it. If you like superheroes, if you like D6 systems, if Dungeons and Dragons and the D20 system sort of go over your head, and you like the sort of basic, more story-driven action, you should check it out. It's a lot of fun. That will be up on YouTube later next week for your consumption, but all of the older episodes are up there as well. And we will have our next session of Wild Space. We had to take the last week off, and the next session will be up, or we will be playing on Monday of this coming week. So stay tuned for that. And then we'll be back with our next session of Lords of Misrule in 2 weeks. The other thing is we put up the podcast for Lords of Misrule. We are converting all of our episodes as they are released into podcast form, and we are putting them right now in 2 places. They first went up on Castbox. It's an app that you can get through either the Google Play Store or whatever app store you use, and you can download and listen to them there. They are also up on iTunes right now. If you want to listen to them there, if you're an Apple person, you listen to your podcasts the way that they were invented to be consumed. However, we are having a little bit of technical issues with with some of the artwork for it. All the audio is there. You can still listen to it, but there's some road bumps that we're currently trying to iron out. You may experience some technical difficulties in the coming days, but we'll keep you updated on the Twitter. I think that's it. I don't think I have anything else. Any other announcements? Funny jokes? Anything else? All right. Well, everybody sit back, relax, and prepare yourselves for session 2 of Lords of Misrule. And welcome back, everyone. All right, so let me get some better music going for this. Last time on Lords of Misrule, your newly formed, I want to say adventuring, my instinct is always to say adventuring party. Wouldn't really consider you guys an adventuring party. Your strange assortment of ne'er-do-wells has sort of found themselves intertwined with each other. You all found yourselves arrested and being held temporarily within the Gothford Police Department. You were offered a choice or an arrangement by a passing acquaintance of many of you, an Earth Genasi gentleman by the name of Haran Blackchurch, a bookie and general sort of miscreant in the Gothford area, the Farsaw Heights area specifically, where most of you do your business, offered you the choice to partner up, run some jobs together, and hopefully get rich doing so, and owe some favors to some, or gain some favors from some powerful people. You all agreed tentatively to take some of his jobs that he had offered. The first one, a shakedown of a tailor that owed some money to one of the gangs, the Zartano. You were able to successfully complete your bounty, however, with a little bit of trouble along the way from some magical creatures that he had been stockpiling and collecting for himself. You completed that job, very quickly took another one, an escort contract, taking some mana, an illicit substance, black market sold in the black markets of Gothford, and transporting it to a vendor in the upper city area, the upper Gothford district. You ran into a bit of trouble along the way with some members of the Green Tusk gang and an orc gang that operates within on the city streets and in the downtown metropolitan area. You were able to avoid them with some very skillful driving by Hogarth and some magical assistance by the rest of your group. Delivering your bounty, taking some for yourselves, were able to talk your way out of any immediate danger and returned to collect your bounty from Harin, which is where we sort of left off. Your crew is in closed laundry joint, the back part of it, kind of relaxing in the speakeasy, getting ready to either call it a night or plan your next job. And I think that's where we're going to pick up right now, is with Seb and Pilar, and I mean, I guess the two of you were alone, I guess, sitting at a table in the back of the bar, some music playing, one of the many instrumentalists that earns or shills at Cloves Laundry Joint playing upon the stage, and the two of you having a drink and talking over next steps.
So this whole conversation is in Elvish to try and minimize any eavesdropping that may be going on, but it's also not like they're aware that some of their friends also speak Elvish, and so it's not like they're trying to hide it per se, but so Rita, I know one of the jobs Aaron has for us is to try and get a cop in the pocket of the Nereians.
Yes, I remember that one.
And I know initially neither of us were super keen on that idea.
Initially or still? Because I am still not.
I've been doing some thinking. Yeah, we're not big fans of the Nereians, you and I, for good reason.
Yeah, I mean, that is a way to say it. Mm-hmm.
But to get along in this city and what we do can't be too closed-minded, let's say. So here's what I've been thinking. First, we find out if there are any, extra requirements for who to get in their pocket, what kind of time constraints there are. But what I've been thinking is, this is just a get it done sort of thing. I just keep my ears open as I'm hanging out in different bars, see if I can find a cop on the payroll who might be willing to make a little extra on the side. That way.
So, hold on. I'm sorry. You are arguing to me to try to convince me that we want to increase the hands that the Nerean has. This is what you're trying to say to me.
Yes, and I'm still building up. Let me finish talking.
All right, fine.
Please.
I will withhold my judgment.
Here's what I'm thinking. by making sure we're the ones who get this cop, they'll also be in our pocket, in a manner of speaking. Sure, we won't be paying them, but we're the one who got them set up for this. So 1, we have a cop who's friendly to us. 2, we have some sway a little bit with the Nurans for further down the line. Maybe. It's just one cop. What's that going to do? But some sway later to say, hey, we helped you out with this. Why don't you help us out and, make those ones that we don't like, give them the shit duty or something. I'm just saying, something to keep in mind. Also, 60 gold is nothing to sneeze at. That's
No, it
almost
is
10
not.
gold among all of us after Heron's cut.
Well, you say this could go in our favor. The wind could blow our sails too, as they say. But it also could go bad. What if we find a cup that they do not like? Or maybe the cup does not end up having a good experience with the Nurians, which is more likely, in my opinion. Then this could fall badly on us even more. I do
True,
not
and-
know if I want to take that risk.
Those are concerns to bring up with the whole group. But I just figured, given our history with them, you and I should have this talk first. So that we're not just, wholly opposed to it.
I mean, it is not a bad idea. I mean, the closer we can get to the Nurians, I guess, the better
Yep,
in
and
some ways.
No.
Ugh.
I'm not going to enjoy this, but you always talk about how I never use my head, and now I'm using it.
Well, you are the smart one. When I say those things, it's when you are like not being that.
I've always been the smart one. It's just more fun to not have to think.
Yes, of course. I totally understand where you're coming from. Well, I thank you for bringing this up. I think you're right, and we probably should consider it at least.
Yeah, but we'll see what the others think. I want to talk to Heron about why there's that murder investigation and why it pays so crap compared to the others.
Right? I was kind of interested in doing it just because it sounded like interesting, but...
But yeah, I think that's something we should talk about with the rest of the group.
Yeah, I think so. Plus, this bard person here is getting on my nerves. They keep hitting flats.
Yeah, no, you are much better, of course.
Of course, thank you.
All right, so rest of the group, what are you doing?
I am putting the illicit gotten goods from our last job in the safe.
Yes.
Well, actually, no. I am changing the container that it's in. I'm putting it in something else so that it doesn't, and then I'm going to get rid of the container. And
How are you getting rid of it?
how am I going to get rid of it? It's going out with the dirty laundry.
Do you throw out the dirty laundry?
No. I'm gonna go ahead and just, if
Doesn't
somebody
the dirty laundry come in?
right, yeah, exactly. No, well, there's some things you just can't clean. Some things just are too dirty. No, when one of the orphans leaves for like the day from their thing, I have them take the container to the orphanage and throw it away in the orphanage trash.
Okay. I need to know this orphan's name for when they get murdered on the street.
Okay. Let's see. I'm really bad at coming up with names immediately. I'm so good. Ralph. Little Ralph.
Cool. So you have Samantha tell Ralph, give him, what is he delivering again? What did you say the pretense of him going out is? You muted.
Muted? What's that? When his shift is done working the laundromat, I'm assuming he's gonna scurry on back to the orphanage, and when he scurries on back to the orphanage, he throws it away in their trash.
Okay. So
Or
throwing it
along
away.
the way, if he finds someone else's trash to put it into.
This matters a lot. Or is he throwing it away in your trash or throwing it away in somebody else's trash?
In somebody else's trash, not mine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ralph throwing away. All right, I'm going to make a note of that. So the
Oh,
so
God.
Samantha tells Ralph, kind of in secret, maybe in the back room, gives him his little homework assignment. Probably puts it in like a. I assume they've got book bags or something that they're using, and he sticks it in there as best he can. It's sort of bulbous, like an 8th grader. This just massive backpack that he is currently wearing, and he slings it over his shoulders and jogs down the street back home at the. I'd say it's probably around 8 or 9 o'clock right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So anything else? Are you guys gathering back with Haran or heading back to your rooms or apartments?
I mean, maybe we should get together, kind of figure out a game plan, because I don't think we did last session. Kind of left it open.
Okay, so let's then just skip to sitting down at a table with maybe Haran grabs some drinks, and you see him. He puts an order in with you, Clove, to have a few more drinks brought to the table, a few more bottles of wine, and sort of whistles out towards all of you, having you gather him, and under the pretense of sharing a drink with friends, and says, Come on! We haven't had a drink yet this evening. Everybody, sit down. Let's talk about how things went today, and more business arrangements. So, what are you thinking? What do you want to take next? By the way, and kind of scrumbles back, reaches under the his chair, pulls back out the book, flips over. He says, "I did get one other job. That was." I had a missive delivered to me a little bit ago. One of the Calbots was pretty impressed by your execution of your contract earlier, and they had something else lined up they were going to give to another crew, kind of fell through. So we might have something going there as well. Looks like and I don't know what's going on here, but it looks like an archaeological survey is what they're saying. They need somebody to check out something. I don't really know. There's a lot. He's like looking through over the paper and trying to decipher what's written on it. It says, this guy writes in chicken scratch. I don't know. All I know is the guy you need to go talk to if you want to take the job.
May I read the papers? Perhaps I can understand it better than you?
Hogarth has very good eyesight.
He looks over Hogarth and says, fine, and slides the paper across the table towards you.
Can I make out this chicken scratch?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's pretty hard to read. It's not like it's not code or anything. Mm-hmm. And looking it over, I think I almost want to make you make a check for it, but I'm trying to decide. Yeah, just make me an intelligence check.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was like, I want to do this, but I don't really know what.
I don't know what it would be. Just
straight intelligence.
Yeah, intelligence for doctors writing, essentially.
I believe in you.
Ooh, that's a big old nat 1. That is a great start.
I don't even think you know what language this is at this point.
Nice.
You slide it back to him, and he
I just look at it with my eyes closed. I don't know.
And he takes the paper back from you and says, all right, I told you it's not an easy read. Anyway, there's a fella by the name of Dr. Bartrand Engelward. Apparently he's a professor of history at Ryman University, and is an affiliate of the Calbots, and he's looking for some help with this project or this dig they've got going on. You know, the Calbots, they like that kind of stuff. Anyway, so we got that, and I've got this job for the Mephistosy, but like I said, it doesn't pay very much. I'll toss it if you don't want it. I wasn't really sure about it to begin with, and then this job with the Nurian too.
I have a number of questions, and that number is 2. So first of all, with the Calbot job, do you know anything about what we are supposed to do? Like, is it security while these people do the dig? Are we supposed to be doing the dig?
Honestly,
I'm not so good with the shovels and the calluses.
I think if they were looking, they'd be looking for a different crew if there was any digging to be done. My guess, based on jobs that I've done with them before, is something like an escort job or maybe some extermination. Probably got a pest problem or something that they're dealing with. They're looking for hired guns.
No, that doesn't sound too bad.
That's what we're probably looking at. I again, this is all the detail I have, and there's not a lot to go with. So I would probably, if you want to take the job, they don't have a price figure. It looks like it's a 5% commission on whatever it is they're trying to get out of there. I don't know how much we're looking at. So it might be good to go talk to the guy and see what shakes out over there.
That does sound very interesting. Now, that was one. I did say I had two. So the second,
I was aware of that.
Yes. So I forgot what it was. No, the Mephistosi job. Do you know why it is so little? You said you don't know very much information. Do you know any information about this one? Why it is so little? Somebody died.
I know that I heard about the murder. It was only a day or two ago. Word travels pretty quick around here, as I'm sure all of you know. And it looks like, based on what was in the news, that this Lord Wingate passed away unexpectedly about 2 days ago. Now, based on what I've been able to dig up, doing my own a little bit of research, there's some evidence of foul play, and that's why the GPD's involved. A little bit of a cover up. It looks like. I don't know why the pay is so bad for this one. I don't know why that. I would negotiate for more if I felt like I had leverage to do that. My guess is they're trying to not draw too much attention to what's going on. But that is just my humble guess.
Well, and if there's only a small suspicion that it was foul play, I imagine they don't want to stake a lot of money on it if they turn out to be wrong.
True. Well, if there's more money involved, more investigating, more digging, more likely something's going to be uncovered that they don't want to be uncovered. So, I don't know. Could be they just want to make it look like they're involved in this, want to make it look like they have, that they're doing everything they can. My suspect is that Lord Wingate had some pretty strong ties to the Mephistosi, so probably just trying to do their
This
part.
makes sense to me.
Maybe he was like a real weirdo and they don't want anyone to know.
Possible. But you could always check it out if it's easy. An easy 25 gold, and well, again, you're showing that you can play ball, so they might be willing to throw some more jobs your way in the future. Mephistosi are the biggest players around here, so anyway, so you got a pretty good lineup, and then I don't have heads or tails on the Nurian one. There aren't a lot of details there, but it's pretty straightforward. Just need to find someone to flip, or find a officer to flip the Nurian way.
My question there, what's the timeline on that, if any?
Flips through the pages. It says this one doesn't really have much of a timeline on it. They probably sent it out to a few people at this point. My guess is there are probably a few crews that are working on something like this. They probably got a few folks that are trying to iron this one out. They're probably looking for more than one informant. I'll probably get word, I would guess, in about a week, if nobody's done it by then, that they're no longer looking for the job to be done anymore. So you probably got some time.
All right, something I can keep my ear out in my other work.
All right. So, these other two, the investigation is obviously, that one's going to go pretty quick. If you don't get that done the next day or two, I imagine it's going to go cold pretty fast. And then the dig, or this extermination, or whatever it's going to be, I don't know how fast they're looking to move on that. So it might be worth taking sooner rather than later.
What do you guys think?
I don't know about you guys, but I don't have any connections with anyone in the PD, so maybe we start on one of the other jobs.
They do sound interesting, and as Sebastian said, he can sort of put some time into that other one. If needed, I can make connections with anybody. But we could do something more interesting in the meantime.
Yeah. I can hang out at them when we're off these other jobs, see what I can scrounge up.
I can help with that.
Well, whatever they're digging up out of the ground probably ain't going anywhere, so maybe we can file that investigation.
True.
My thoughts are, though, first, I very much doubt he's going to want us to go straight to the dig site or whatever. But figure out that, then look into this Lord Wingate murder.
That one does seem a little bit like it has an expiration date. Get it?
Well,
Because
it already had an expiration date.
You cut out for a second there, so I just want to make sure we're all on the same page. You were saying to stop by, ask about this dig job, and then head over and do the murder. Is that what you were saying? Okay.
Stop by and do the murder.
Stop by and do murders.
Do the murder.
I mean, we've already done
Do
like
crime.
5 today.
We have done some murders today. Well,
Can we put that on a t-shirt? Make Lords of Misrule do murder.
do
Do the
murder.
murder. Haran throws back a drink and says, "So, sounds like you've got a plan. Anything else we need to figure out? Anything else we need to iron out? I'll have the pay for the last job when you're. Did I give you the pay for the last job? I don't think
I
I
was
gave.
about to ask Sean that. Did we get the pay for that?
No, I did. I'll have you the pay next time that you're here. It's been like an hour. Get off my back.
You don't just walk around with a bank's worth of money?
No, I don't, because I'm smart."
Good. I want our contact to stay alive.
He eyes you for a second, not really sure if that was a threat or
No, like legit, like, yeah, it's not safe to walk around with that much money.
nods and finishes off his drink and stands up and says, "Well, I should mosey on out of here then. It's been a pleasure working with all you today. See you tomorrow."
When it's
That's a
not
good
just
one.
And he saunters out of the bar. So the rest of you, are you heading back to your homes, or anything else you want to do before that?
I'm going to go home unless somebody stops me.
You said it was what, like 10 o'clock at night now by this point?
Yeah, probably around 9 or 10.
Okay. I'll probably work for another maybe hour or so, and then go to sleep above the bar.
Okay.
I'm gonna stay and have a couple of drinks. I'll probably hang out with Clove.
Sebastian is going to go find a cop bar in Narayan territory and start listening, see if he can hear people just muttering about how crap their job is, and keep an ear out for anyone who might be sympathetic towards making some extra money.
Okay, so you wanna get a jump on that. So let's is there anything else anybody wants to do before we do those rolls?
I have just kind of a random lore question. Or
Sure.
not lore question, but because I'm assuming Clove's got to pay some bribes to keep herself, because it's, the fact that she's running a speakeasy is kind of the world's worst secret.
Yeah.
Does she know any cops that we may be able to switch?
I think you pay your dues to the Zartano,
Okay,
so they keep the cops off you.
got it. Okay.
So I think you don't really have any dealings with the police unless something goes wrong.
Got it. Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Okay, so the rest of you head back to your establishment or your homes, whatever passes for a home.
I do have a question.
Yeah.
Am I familiar with Lord Wingate? Do I know that name?
You're around that area. Yeah, I'll say you know the name. Let me get my music back going. There we go. Let me see what you might know based on what I've written, which is right here. Yeah. I think what you know about him, he is a sort of a political figure in the Gothford area. I don't think he's very high up there. Probably like a city council member or something, like maybe not even that much. Maybe like a district council member or something like that. So has some political pull and dealings. But otherwise, I don't think you really know I think you know about where he would live, and you know that much about him. But otherwise, isn't really a well-to-do or well-known guy.
Okay, cool. That's it. I'll head home then.
Okay. Okay, so you all head back to your apartments, except for Seb, who ventures over towards the lower Gothford or the Root and Square area, looking for some. I'm trying to think of the word that I'm looking for. Down their luck, or.
And as he's going through
Moby
just
Cop.
Narayan territory in general, like when he hits the border of like the known border of the territories, he takes just a second's pause. And as he starts going through the territory, he goes, even though he's still walking with his cane and his limp, he does it aggressively, aggressive limping, trying to give off the body language in case anyone decides to try something. Yeah.
Disillusioned is the word I was looking for.
Aggressive limping is my favorite thing.
Yeah. Okay. Start aggressively limping down the street. And I don't think anyone necessarily draws too much attention. There's probably a moment where you hit one of the street corners and maybe a catty corner across the street from you. There are a couple of figures that are standing on that corner, smoking a cigarette, and you don't really get any features, but they watch you, and you sort of get the impression that they are keeping an eye on you. It's late at night, not many people walking around. Then you turn the corner and begin to move away from them, and they keep their eye on you. And whenever you see somebody on the street, they're sizing you up and seeing if you're a good mark or not. But go ahead and make an intimidation check.
Get him.
All right, let's see if Roll20 has decided to stop being a jerk to me. That's an 11.
Okay. So you come up to a bar. What's the name of the bar?
Oh, gosh. The Bear and the Rogue. Lindsay is very intent on it being called the Bear and the Rogue.
Very. Okay. So the Bear and the Rogue. And this is probably this isn't a Nurian bar, because you wouldn't go to a Nurian bar to find somebody that you're trying to flip. Most people in there are already on the Nurian payroll. But this is a smaller kind of rundown establishment on the very western edge of Nurian territory, right when it kind of abuts Sartano territory and Farsaw Heights. So you head inside. It's pretty dead in there at this time of night. And you set up to do some snooping. So what I'm going to have you do, just for the pure sort of luck of the draw, whether there's somebody in here that might have some information, I'm just going to have you roll a D100. And you're trying to beat, I'm going to say we're going to give it a 60% chance. So you're trying to roll 60 or lower.
Sure. And I don't know if this helps this roll at all or anything, but as he approaches the bar, he starts adopting more of a drunken stumbling and making it seem like he's already had a few drinks for the evening, so that when he's in and stumbles into the bar and she's like, I don't know what we're calling the drinks in this universe, but something, again, very fruity.
Okay.
So 1d100, 28.
All right, there you go. So you head inside and you sort of stumble as you're coming through the door, and there are 4 patrons in this bar currently. 2 of them sitting at the counter, one of them sitting at a table, and then the bartender behind the counter. And as you stumble in, the bartender puts down his glass and you come up asking for a drink. He says, "You're right there, buddy."
Yeah, last bar I was at, they looked at me funny. I don't like people looking at me funny. I just want to drink in peace.
All right, well, sizes you up. As long as you got the coin, I can. I got drinks for you. What do you want?
I put the silver down, and does anyone remember what I said the name of the drink was I got last time? I think it was just a Gothford iced tea or something.
Something like that. Yeah.
The equivalent of the Long Island iced tea.
Yeah. Okay, so you get to your drink, and with the roll that you had before, I think there's a young human man, a little bit disheveled, that is sitting about 2 seats down from you, but is the only person. There's no one between you right now, and he is currently wearing a Gothford police uniform, but the buttons are kind of undone. He's clearly off duty right now, and is sitting there drinking an ale.
I'll sort of, once I get my drink, turn towards him. Rough night on the beat.
He kind of laughs into his drink a bit and polishes the rest off, taps on the bar to the bartender, indicating he wants another, and looks to his left towards you. Buddy, every night's a rough night around here.
I hear that, and I'll throw or toss a coin down his way and say, "Next one's on me." I appreciate the Gothford PD and all they do to keep these streets safe.
The coin slides towards him. The bartender and he lock eyes and just gives a nod. Says, "I appreciate it. It's not where I thought my life would be right now, but yes, a job's a job."
Job's a job.
Yeah. You look like you've had a rough one, though.
Yeah, well, life used to be rougher, and I'll sort of, tap the cane on the ground. Gotta take it a bit easy now these days.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to me if I got hurt enough I couldn't do this job anymore. I don't want to think about it. Oh, well.
No. You can tell me to piss right off if this is too much, but do you like your job enough? I mean, how much do cops make? Now, I don't think I could be a cop, with my gammy leg, but maybe desk work or something.
He shakes his head and says, I mean, if you want to work behind a counter or a desk, man, that's probably the easiest way to make a living around here. At least you don't have to worry about getting shot in the street. But I don't know. It's not. It's hard to make a difference around here, all the gangs and crap. It's just. Buddy of mine got killed last week. It was rough.
My condolences. Take a drink.
But you asked me if it's worth it. How much we make, and it's not. It's not unless you get to run the political gambit, make your way up to paladin or That's not for me. I don't have the pedigree for it.
I don't know. I think you'd look good in the shiny paladin armor.
Yeah, well, I appreciate the sentiment.
But with the politics and the families, and this is just, a drunkard's rambling, two trains of thought crashing together. Maybe you could find some friends who might be able to help you with the politics.
What do you mean?
Now, I know you probably deal with the ugly stuff in this city a whole bunch, but I don't know, I got some friends that have been in the, I've known people in the different families, and if you didn't know that, they'd be just regular upstanding citizens. Some people who have the ears of councilmen and things like that.
He turns towards you. Says, "Now, my buddy was shot dead in the street by a Nurian thug not 4 days ago. And you think I should go work for them?"
No, I didn't say that. No, fuck the Norans. They are of the
bartender
fall.
kind of...
Yeah, sorry. I'll keep it down. I'll sort of lean closer to the guy. Between you and me, of the four families, the Norans are the worst. And yeah, fuck them for killing your friend. But there's an old saying about having a wolf by the ears. I don't know if you know this, but this, again, drunkards rambling thoughts, the logic of the juice. What if you tried to work your way from the inside with them?
Okay, at this point, I'm going to have you make a persuasion check.
Oh, I have no idea where I've been going with this whole time. Persuasion 19.
Ooh, that's real good. That's enough to keep him from just
That's my cousin.
punching you.
Yep.
I think he looks angry at first, and he's like gripping the edge of the bar, and I think he's ready to start a fight at this point. It's probably had a real long week and just wants to beat someone bloody. But I think he stops in that moment, and something about what you said clicks just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Enough that he turns back towards his fresh drink and polishes off about half of it, and one swig, slams it back down, says, "Maybe you're right. That's some dangerous shit you're saying, but maybe you're right."
Nah, yeah. Of course it's dangerous. I mean, my leg, Norans did that to me when I tried to be smart and clever, but look at me. I'm a drunk. You, sir. I mean, you made it through the police academy. You're clearly smarter and cleverer than I am. Maybe you could succeed where I failed.
I'll think about it. Finishes off the rest of his drink and says, "What's your name again?"
My buddies call me Seb.
He leans towards you. Or actually, he gets up and walks over towards you, so you don't have to lean, seeing the leg. And holds out his hand and says, "Damien."
Damien, good to meet you. Good work you're doing.
We'll talk more about it if I see you again.
Yeah. Most of the bartenders in this city know me. But if you want to come looking for me, I'm most often, well, look around Farsaw Heights.
I thought you were about to say the enclosed laundry joint. I was
I
like,
was about to, it's like, it's not that much of an open secret.
no. He releases your hand and says, Farsaw Heights. All right. No, I'll see you around then.
Have a good one.
And he walks out of the bar.
That went better than I expected it to.
Oh, pretty good. Anything else? So you got a potential contact with Damien.
Yep.
Just to follow up on.
Finish up the drink, swing back by closed joint, see if anyone's still there, but it's on his way back to his apartment anyway, so.
Yeah, I think everyone's cleared out, head back to their
Yep.
own places by now. And yeah, we'll pick back up in the morning. All of you meeting somewhere that you decided previously. Did you guys decide you're going to go to West Circle first and talk to the was that the plan? Talk to the doctor about
Yes.
the dig. Okay, so let's just say you meet over in West Circle near the Ryman University campus where the doctor works. And we'll go ahead and skip forward to, unless there's anything else anyone wants to do.
Am I familiar with this guy at all?
Dr.
Does he work like? This is the Calbits one, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Dr. Engelward. I don't think he's a very high. He's probably somebody that maybe doesn't work for the Calbits, but uses their services, and maybe he pays dues to the Calbit Club or something. Yeah. So no, I don't think you know his name specifically. But you do head to the university and you find the history department on the university campus. I assume nobody here attended Ryman University. I don't know how many of you would have even gone to school. It's pretty going to school, going to college in this area. I mean, that's a pretty heavy price tag. You got to be pretty well off to do so. So I wouldn't imagine any of you would have been able to go. But you head into the department, and there's the directory at the entrance that shows the office of Dr. Engelward, and you follow the directions, get up to the third floor of the building where you see his office. It's a wooden door with a placard above it that says Dr. Barton Engelward.
I knock.
All right. You hear a voice inside. Oh, come in.
Open the door a little bit.
The door opens. There's sort of a musty interior. It's dark on the inside. A little bit of flickering of light coming from a candle on the center table, and books just piled high on around all the corners of the room. And there is an older-looking professorly figure with a close cropped sort of gray and white beard and bald head, and he is currently hunched over his desk, flipping through some pages, and looks up and says, are you one of my students?
No.
He says, it's a bit late, I think, for visitors right now. Shouldn't you be heading home?
We're here to talk to you about some work you need done.
Well, you should come by in the morning then. I'm just getting packed up for the evening.
Well, I suppose if you don't want our help, fine.
It's also, I'll give context, it is the morning.
Oh. That changes things, doesn't it?
The curtains are currently drawn closed, and it's very dark in this
Oh,
room.
I like this guy now.
I walk over and open his curtains.
Okay, you flip over there. I think you walk past him, and he's and he kind of turns to you and says, "What do you know? I'm telling you, I can't take any. Oh, gods! Oh shit!
Late night.
What time is it?"
It's about 9.
Damn, missed my first class. Fine. What can I help you with?
We received word that you needed some help with... What is it? A survey?
Looks back to everyone waiting out in the hallway, and I think puts 2 and 2 together.
Hello.
Come in and close the door.
Yes, it is really more about what we can do to help you.
Says, quite a bit, actually. I didn't expect somebody to come by so quickly. Thank you. Always impressed by the promptness and the services of the...
Yes, punctuality is very important. And attendance.
Yes,
And he sort of puts the together with the classy mist and gets very quiet for a moment. And says,
all right. So the job. To keep it as simple as possible, I've been working on a restoration, I guess you could say, of the lower Gothford area. We were doing a bit of we were surveying the area for potential runes of the fallen kingdom, and my dig team came across a chamber of sorts beneath a orphanage, or a condemned orphanage, down in that area. And not your orphanage.
No, Closto perks up just because the orphanages matter to her.
yeah.
And he says, nobody's been in there for some time, but we attempted to, send a few members of my team down into the chamber, and they didn't come back. So didn't send anybody else. Seems that there might be some dangerous creatures or something in there. So I'm looking for some help. Some people might be more fitted than myself to take care of the problem and gather any of the valuables, the artifacts, anything you might find in the chambers beyond, and return them for a portion of the profits.
Those people you sent down, they just never came back, and you hear screaming or nothing?
Oh, there was a bit of noise, but we didn't go down to see once they stopped responding. I'm not really in this. I didn't become a professor of history in order to fight monsters in dark caves.
Makes sense.
Personally, I'm a huge fan of deep, dark, ancient history death caves.
Excellent. Well, then you'll very much enjoy the work that we've put out for you.
Yes.
So, the payment 5% of whatever we bring you back?
5% of whatever's bring back, once they're appraised, of course, and we can ascertain their value. And I'm willing to throw in, sorry, my phone is going off. I'm willing to throw in an additional sort of incentive, and kind of rummages through his desk and pulls out a small sort of shard of amber-looking crystal and says, 1 essence gem for each of you.
Should I know what that is, Sean?
You should if you've read the custom rules.
Gosh, dang it.
Essence gems are used in the creation of magic items, and they can be used at essence looms to create magic items. And I'll go ahead and explain for the audience, since they can't read the rules that I put up there. Actually, let me see if I
I don't see those rules at all.
Well, I post them in Discord. I don't think
I understand now.
Essentially you can spend 1 essence gem to create a common magic item, 3 to create a uncommon item, so on and so forth, all the way up to where did I put the thing? 81 essence gems to create a legendary item. So essentially it's a pretty heavy price tag. They're very valuable, but they are created, essence looms are created by the Calvets and the production of magical items and artifacts. Essence gems are created by distributed by the Mephistosi through some unknown means.
Excellent. I accept.
Interesting.
So, any other information I can provide to you to help in your job?
How many people did you send down there?
2.
Find out a remain. Should we bring him back?
That would be good if you do find any remains, or at least if you clear out the creatures, let us know when we can retrieve them.
All right.
Could I get the payment in writing from you?
Oh, I believe I provided the writing to. Oh, all right. And pulls out a parchment and a quill and begins to sort of scratch it off, looking up at you, sort of worried for a moment, and flips it out and hands it over to you and says, "There you are."
Did he sign it?
Signs it, hands it back to you.
Thank you. Well, I don't see any reason why we couldn't help.
Excellent. So no rush on it. I'd prefer it if you could have it done by the end of the week. I might be able to salvage this. I have the appraiser that's coming in to hopefully look at the items that you find, and I don't want to keep them waiting. They charge just outrageous fees.
Do you have some of your dig crew there? Do we need to show them or tell them anything to get let in, or is it just...
No, they've been cleared out. The directions I'll provide to you, and he does so. I'm not going to sit here and do that, but he provides you the directions to the orphanage. And once you get there, there shouldn't be any... like I said, the building is condemned. There shouldn't be anybody that's would try to keep you out.
Cool. Sounds good. You should probably get some rest. We have other things we need to do too. We'll come back and update you when we have something to update with.
All right. Oh, unfortunately, I have a class to teach at noon, so I don't have much time to rest. But I appreciate the sentiment. Rest you can all see yourselves out. Thank you for your time, and good luck.
Thanks.
All right. So you all leave and make your way out, walking across campus. Anything?
I'm gonna take the paper with his signature and just like tuck it away in a little notebook. That in my bag.
That job sounds less intensive than I was expecting it. Do we want to just knock that out before we maybe get embroiled in some murder investigation?
It still has a week-long expiration, whereas this murder mystery is going to get harder the longer we take to get to it.
They do say the first 48 hours are the most important.
Well, aren't we already past that window? But your point stands.
So we don't know what kind of beasties might be down there.
I wouldn't want to show up to a fight looking to an investigation looking disheveled from a fight. So I think it's probably best if we get the lay of the land on the murder investigation before we go traipsing around a big death cave, I think is what you called it.
Yes.
I don't know if I have a look other than disheveled from a fight, but I'll try and tidy myself up.
You should probably wear that nice coat that Cordelia bought you like 3 months ago, the one that you have still not worn.
You think I should dress up for a murder investigation? That's like a going out to the movies coat. Or opera or play or something.
All right, whatever you say.
Not that you ever take us to the opera.
You're the one who knows about them? You think I've listened for the opera season tickets? And I think just keep up this kind of banter as we continue along our way.
All right. So you all head out across, or I guess you're going to take a cab to the. You're going to the Upper Gothford area. I'm assuming that you guys are taking a cab, unless you guys want to walk for the next few hours.
Cab, please.
Okay.
Let's not stick all the big people in one cab.
Sure.
Time.
You equally proportion the 2 cabs that you would need, each one costing you morning fare, probably about, we'll say 1 silver in each.
All right.
They're not doing their surge pricing right now.
Lucky us.
Goober, is that what
Goober.
what Gothford Uber is called? Is Goober?
Sebastian covers the silver in his taxi.
Okay. Goober. Oh, man.
Wait, so is it 1 silver a piece or 1 silver a
1
taxi?
silver a taxi. Yeah.
Clove's got hers.
I'm going to assume that Seb was in my taxi.
It's
Okay.
fine. Both were paid. Like, we got 2, right? Both are paid
Both,
for.
yeah, both of you pay for 1 silver, so you're good.
Oh.
All right, so
I'm just resisting the urge to literally fly everywhere.
you could if you wanted to.
I'm not going to.
I'll build into the lore. This is a magical world and stuff. It is not uncommon to be walking down the street and see somebody just sort of Superman flying overhead or something like that. Like, there are people that fly for number of reasons, either just naturally inclined to do so, or that they have magical abilities that allow them to. But no, you take a taxi with your friends. All right, so heading or following the directions you were given to the estate of Lord Wingate, you arrive in the Upper Gothford area, just off of King's Park, not the northern edge of it where you delayed your delivery the other day, but the eastern edge of the park area. And I think the house number, you find the house number. There's nobody outside of it right now. It's a beautiful sort of 2-storied estate right there off of the main thoroughfare that leads into the park. There is a neat short iron fence that surrounds the property. Perfectly trimmed hedges that grow alongside the fence. There is a white walkway that leads up to the front facade of the house, and it is very quiet on this street with a few cars parked along the row. But no police presence or anything here right now.
Any signs of like, is there police tape? Is there anything like that around here? Or is this not the actual scene of the crime?
This is the scene that you do know that this is where the murder took place.
Okay.
But no, there's no police tape or anything that is currently at the house. There are lights on inside the house, though.
Okay.
You imagine relative or Lady Wingate might be in.
There's some kind of bell at the gate or something, or
Not at the gate, but there's a bell at the door.
Cordelia, you look the most official, because you're always so nicely dressed and sharply dressed. You want to try and get us in the door?
Do I? I hadn't noticed.
Yes, you did.
Oh, I suppose I could try.
Let me know if you need a backup dancer.
I'm just scared I'll scare everybody with how tall I am.
You are lovely.
Okay, so Cordelia, you walk up to the front door, pull the bell. You can hear the chimes ringing inside the house, and there's a few moments pause before you hear the creaking of floorboards as the latch on the front door clicks and the door opens, and standing there is a tall and thin lady wearing currently a black dress, and is she looks a bit disheveled, and sort of looks outside and looks at you and almost past you a bit, scanning the front yard and then looking back at you and says, "Yes,
Lady Wingate?
that's me. I wasn't expecting any visitors."
Oh, I'm sure. I apologize for interrupting your daily life. Anastasia Cordova, private investigator.
Oh. And who sent you?
Let's say a concerned friend.
Oh. Are they with you?
Yes.
All right.
Waves as friendlily as I can manage.
Are you all coming in?
Not if you don't want.
I assume you're here to investigate. Yes, you can all come in.
They're friendly. I promise.
Okay. And you all head up the path and inside. The interior is as nice as the exterior. Yes.
This is super not important, but as I pass Lady Wingate, I'm gonna just like take her hand if she'll let me and just do like a quick traditional elvish like prayer for the dead, like over her hands, and just like condolence, like really fancy condolences basically.
Okay. I think she probably responds a bit reluctant at first, but maybe gets your intention and sort of softens a bit in that moment, and then gives whatever remnants of a smile she can, and lets you pass. And then the rest of you file in as well into the sort of front room here. It's very open, and it would be bright if not for the curtains being drawn closed, giving a little bit of a obviously a somber interior. There's a bit of dust hanging in the air, and it's only been a couple of days, so there's not it's not like it doesn't look like it's been tended to, but it hasn't been that long since it's been tended to either. But you do get the impression that there have been a lot of people through here lately. There's some dirt kind of tracked in from the front door, and otherwise it just feels a bit sad in here as you enter. And as you walk in, you look to your left. Yeah, you do see there is in the front room to the left, there is a casket in the off to the front room in the parlor area. Closed, but there. And she looks at all of you as you enter and closes the door and says, "I'm sorry. Like I said, I wasn't expecting guests. I don't really have anything prepared. I can offer you a cup of tea or something I can put together quickly, or..."
It's all right.
Please don't trouble yourself on her behalf. We're here to help you, not to have you help us.
All right. Do you have any questions, or do you need to just see the study?
Well, I think it would be best if we heard what happened from your perspective. I understand if you don't want to talk to all of us.
I can go over it again. She sort of motions towards the other side of the front room, where there's a fireplace and a hearth and there's a couch and a couple of two armchairs across the bed with a small coffee table. And she sort of gestures there. She says, "We can sit and speak in here. If you need to see the upstairs, the study where I found Walter is at the top of the stairs and on the far right."
I'll go take a look.
I'll join you. Or would you like me to stay?
It's up to you all how you want to do it. But there are some of us that can be more comforting than others.
I
I'll
think
be
Hogarth
here.
should stay and comfort the grieving widow.
Yeah, no, I'm staying with her.
Yeah, I'll go with Cordelia.
I'm gonna go just take a look upstairs a bit.
I think I will stick with my cousin, but let her do most of the talking.
I'd like to check out the casket.
You like to check out the casket? Okay.
I was gonna do that later, but Hogarth's gonna do it now. Go for it.
Interesting. You could do that. I think there is a small kind of dividing wall where you could look at the casket and not have her see if you wanted to. I don't know if it would necessarily be disrespectful or something in this moment. You are investigating the scene of the crime, so I don't think it's a big issue if you wanted to see the body. If you want to do it without asking, though, then
I would like to ask her.
Okay. So most of you begin heading upstairs. The cousins stay down with Lady Wingate, and you see Hogarth beginning to head straight towards the casket in the other room. And you do what, Pilar?
Yeah, I quickly but calmly. It's like part of our investigation of this would necessitate us seeing your late husband. Do you mind?
She sort of watches Hogarth leave and says, "It's fine. I'd rather stay in here, if that's all right.
Of course.
But I understand."
We will not be long.
Okay.
Pats her hand, and then I'll go quickly after Hogarth.
Okay, so the two of you are heading in
Quickly
there.
but calmly.
The two of you are heading in there to check out the body. The rest of you heading upstairs. So we'll do the investigation with the body first, and then the people upstairs next. So, Hogarth, you go over to the casket. You open said casket.
Yep.
And as you do, this sort of smell of like embalming hits you first. There is a very pungent sort of floral smell, somewhat floral smell that hits you. First off, I don't think this is I don't know if this is the first time Hogarth has seen a like embalmed dead body, but I think that's what catches you first. And the body of Lord Wingate is otherwise unremarkable at first glance. Middle-aged man, brown hair, graying on top, mustache that is clearly his hair is combed, his mustache prepared, and sort of in a very presentary way, and looking very nice in a very formal suit, with his hands clasped over his chest, pale face, otherwise unremarkable at first glance. So what would you like to investigate in this moment?
So it's probably
you can join it too, yeah.
Yeah, so it's probably a little bit late for most investigating because he's been embalmed, presumably. But I would specifically like to look for the typical CSI things, bruising, like where the blood collected, like what position the body was in when he was found, etc., etc.
Okay. All right. So The two of you look over the body. So I'll say from that perspective, from you're doing, I'll say make a medicine check.
Excellent.
Hogarth, is there anything you want to look for specifically?
Yeah, just signs of how he was killed.
Okay.
Do we know if this is? I'm assuming this wasn't what he was wearing when he died.
No, it was. You would gather that this was probably not what he was wearing when he died.
Cool. But yeah, so any signs of death?
Okay.
What killed him? Struggle? What if there's struggle?
I'll have you make an investigation check then.
I rolled a natural 20 for a total of 25 on my medicine check.
Nice. I'll see what Hogarth rolls first, then decide who gets what.
In fiction and in real, I'm very familiar with dead bodies.
21.
Nice. All right. So 21, 25. Yeah, you both are very observant in this particular moment. So, Pilar, you gather from all the stuff you just said. He most likely died. I think you probably check just a little bit, like kind of pull up the leg of his pants and check like under his sock and to kind of get an idea of the coloration of different parts of his body. And it's difficult, like you said, because his body's already been embalmed. But I'd say with the natural 20, you pick on some very subtle signs that are left even post embalming. He was probably in an upright position when he died, or a sitting position when he died. Neither of you notice any sign of a struggle. But you both probably notice at the same time there are no wounds on the body. No signs of a break, no signs of like discoloration in the face or anything else that would indicate that he had like that there was like a heart attack or stroke or anything of that nature. But given the limited information that you can pull from this, you do notice one other thing, is that his right hand has a number of small little like spots along it, almost like scarring. And it's difficult to tell, but you said you can. It looks like he was wounded on his right hand at some point. But other than that, that's about the only sign of anything off that you can really notice, or that you really detect.
When you say small spots, are they like little punctures? Are they little? Okay, how little? Like needle little? Is it around the entire like seam of his hand?
Yes, I would say about the width. Yeah, like a needle, not quite like a hypodermic needle, but like a needle or a thorn or something like that. And there are like dozens of them along his palm and like the lower part of or the upper part of his wrist.
Okay, so it's like a localized area, not necessarily like a line.
No, not a line. Like, yeah, I can't really give it. Like he tried to throw a hedgehog. I think
that's exactly what I was gonna go. Like, did he put his hand on a hedgehog?
Yes, something like that. I would say is an apt assumption to make. But other than that, you both don't notice any other signs of foul play. I want to play out. I know all of you are upstairs. I don't want to skip all of you, but I want to play out the scene a little bit more. So you notice this, you look over the body, two of you downstairs, or the three of you downstairs. What do you do?
Wait, did you say that those of us downstairs? What do we do?
Yeah. I want to finish this out for him.
Okay, I kind of give Hogarth a look, like, you see what I'm saying? I just like put the body back where it was, like in its nice position, make everything look as like nice and not creased. Close the casket, and then return to Lady Wingate. And this may be premature. Gonna do it anyway. Oh wait, no, is Sebastian in there?
Yeah,
with
he
her?
was just kind of in there with her. Mostly making small, polite chatter. Saying, Miss Cordova is very good at her job. She may come off a little arrogant, but it helps her get the job done.
This is why Cordelia and I are BFFs. Okay, so as we're walking back, I'm going to, before I turn around, I'm going to quickly send a little message to Sebastian and be like, we're going to come back if you want to, like, read her surface thoughts. See if she's worried about anything when we come back.
Yep. So I will, just sort of start idly messing with the medallion of thoughts I have, but not activating it yet, waiting to use it though.
Okay. All right.
Then I will go back to that room.
Okay. She looks up. As you enter, she says, "Did you find anything?"
Nothing extremely determinative. He looks very good.
Thank you. The funeral home did a very good job.
And then I will make polite conversation while I wait for the people upstairs.
Okay. All right. So
I will head upstairs though.
okay. Boom, 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 boom. Hogarth begins making his way up the steps. The rest of you head up, follow the directions down the end of the hall, where you see a door currently closed, which, based on the directions that Lady Wingate gave you, leads to the study. You push open the door, which creaks slightly, and then opens into a modest-sized office or study for Lord Wingate. There is a desk immediately in front of you, abutting a window. The chair slightly pulled out. There is a wardrobe on the far left wall, a bookshelf to the right, and kind of behind you or to the left against the wall as you enter. And other than that, there are a couple of small tables with books resting on them, one of them which has a globe on it. Otherwise, the curtains here are open. It's a little bit brighter in here. Otherwise, everything is very much in place. There's not really anything that is... not anything that's out of place at this point. Neatly stacked papers, a small inkwell, beautiful sort of bronze with a sort of black ivory pen in it. The papers are neatly stacked. The everything is very dusted, and otherwise no real sign of any sort of skirmish or disturbance in here.
Can I look at the ground and see if there's any signs of, recent scuffing of either the carpet or the floor or something like that? Because it looks too tidy for it to have been a murder scene. So
sure, you can do a perception check.
Okay. What did we do? Perception +7. Okay.
See if there was windows in this room or any other doors. Sean?
Sorry?
Did you say if there's any other windows or doors in this room?
There is a window directly across the room on the other side of the desk that the desk sort of abuts.
Why did I come on this mission? Because I'm awful at rolling. I got a 12.
Okay. With the 12, there is some slight scuffing on the floor that you would sort of attribute to the age of the house and probably just the movement of furniture at some point in the history of it, but nothing that catches your mind as being recent.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and wild shape into a cat form and start sniffing around to see if anything smells unlike anything else in the house. That's what I'm gonna do.
Okay, the rest of you, or what are you? So you're going to the window.
Yeah,
Enza?
I want to see if there's anything funny looking about the window.
About the window? Sure, you can make an investigation check.
Okay. Let's see if it's been messed with, or broken into, or whatever. 16.
All right, 16. Check out the window. It is currently locked from the inside. No sign's been open, and actually, I think you realize as you're looking at it, it looks like when it was painted, it was probably painted shut.
One of those.
Yeah, so no sign that it has been opened recently. Sebastian, Hogarth comes clomping up the stairs. You hear him clomping up the stairs behind you. Cordelia, is there anything you're doing before?
Yeah, I would like to ritual cast Detect Magic once you get into the room.
All right, cool. So that takes you 10 minutes to do, so we'll get back to you in a second. So Hogarth, you make it up the steps. Is there anything you want to do seeing this scene?
Yeah, I'll just sort of tell them, be careful if you're going to touch anything. We found what looked to be pinpricks on his hand. Perhaps something could have poisoned him?
Seems likely.
Okay.
And I would like to begin searching, I don't know, maybe... I don't know, I kind of want to look at, like, sort of everyday objects, like, I don't know, something that he would grab, if there are any weapons lying around, and also maybe pin cushions or something.
Okay.
Or if maybe he's got a pet hedgehog.
There are no terrariums in here with any, or cages with any pet hedgehogs.
An evil druid.
Evil druid just rolled around and poisoned and then
He
body
was
slammed.
rolling around at the speed of sound.
Got
All right.
places to go.
Everyday objects he
People
might have everyday objects he might have touched. So here's what I'll do. I'll have you make an investigation check. At the same time, cat form, blanking on name Clove. You make, I haven't called you the other name yet. So cat form Clove, you can make a perception check. Do you have any sort of advantage in your cat form?
I do. I have advantage on perception checks that rely on smell. That's
Cool.
why
So
I did it.
you make a perception check as well.
Okay.
And as soon as this is done, this will put Cordelia in the game with her ritual cast.
Okay, and I keep my wisdom score, which is good. So +4. Here we go. Perception. Hey, 17 plus 7 is 24.
Okay. All right. So 24. What did you get, Hogarth?
What did I get? I literally just did it. 24 also.
Oh, okay. Nice. All right. So I think a few things are going to come into play at the right time here. So Hogarth, you begin looking around the room for everyday objects, door handles, books, papers, the desk, globe, things like that. Just looking at everything, you don't see any like pins or needles or anything like that that might cause this. Nothing with as fine of a point as you would expect. But I think there's two things that happen about the same time. You turn in your cat form, Clove, and you begin to sniff around the room, kind of jumping up on furniture, knocking things off for no reason. And I think you catch a smell, weird, sort of metallic scent. And you jump up onto the desk. And you get the scent coming from the stack of papers. Because at the same time as you're doing this, Hogarth, you notice the stack of papers. There's two stacks. And it looks just like formal documents, proposals, requests, letters, things like that. The ones on the left, or the ones on the right, otherwise unremarkable. But you notice the ones on the left are written, whereas the ones on the right are written in normal sort of black ink. The ones on the left are written in red ink. And I think at the same time as you notice this, you smell it, Clove. This paper smells like blood.
I'd like to take a gander at these papers.
You flip through them. The documents themselves are entirely normal, bland, mundane, completely dry. But everything that's signed, all the writing, all the any sort of documentation that you imagine made by Lord Wingate, and paragraphs of it are written in blood.
Did Cordelia cast Detect Magic at some point?
I was about to say, Cordelia, about at this point, your Detect Magic ritual lights up. And there's one thing that I'm trying to decide is, no, I'm going to say that's not going to happen. So Cordelia, you sense the room. There's no magic in the room other than one set of objects. The pen and the inkwell on the desk are currently giving off an aura of, I think it would be transmutation and necromancy.
Interesting. Can I go? I don't want to pick it up. Can I go look and see? Is there any ink in the inkwell?
Do you touch it?
Nope. Like this?
So getting close, looking over. I'd say with that, you can tell there is no ink in the inkwell.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say, don't touch that.
Is it cursed or something?
That is a very magical piece of business. I'm going to use Mage Hand to pick it up so I can look it over more closely.
Mage Hand to pick up the entire thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, Mage Hand, this kind of ethereal, spectral hand, lifts up the inkwell and you sort of turn it over. Like I said, the inkwell itself is the base of it's bronze, very well polished, very, very beautiful. And then the pen is this black ivory with a gold sort of inlay or filigree.
And they're both giving off magic.
Mm-hmm.
They're both giving off both kinds of magic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Is Clove still a kitty? Scritch.
And the papers don't look magical at all?
No papers, no magic on the papers.
Okay.
You said it's just the script and everything on the papers is mundane. Like, are they like, titles and deeds and transfer of money? Are they like lawyers' papers? Like, what kind of actual business papers are they?
Political documents, lawyers' papers, like I said, written proposals for certain budgetary, budget cuts and budget allocation for the northeastern district of the Upper Gothford area, and just things like that. Nothing, again, very bland sort of.
Okay. And comparing the blood documents versus the normal ones, are they practically the same? And one's just written in blood versus the other? Like,
handwriting looks almost identical. It looks identical. It's
and the material, I'm assuming, and the stuff covered in the paper. Like, I'm basically what I'm looking to see is are they the same documents that have been changed to look the same? Like, to hide whatever's actually written in the blood documents. Does that make sense, what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. No, there's no difference between the two documents other than the fact that one of them is written in blood. They look identical. The types of documents are the same.
So the content is the same?
Pretty much. Okay. I mean, it's not like they're not duplicates. but they are the same sort of work, the same sort of subject matter and stuff.
Okay, but it's not like there's a stack of papers and then there's another stack of papers that he like copied in blood. I think the question is getting lost a little bit.
Yes. Sorry.
They're not identical.
They're
They're
not
just
identical.
the same kinds of stuff. Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
I guess, yeah. I was just trying to figure, yeah, okay.
But he's also not writing certain types of documents in regular and certain types of documents.
Right.
Nope. The only difference you're getting between the ones, I'd say the only thing you notice with your investigation, everything you're doing right now, the ones that are in regular are older documents, ones that haven't been filed yet, ones that he probably wrote a week ago. All the ones that you're looking at now, the ones written in blood, were based on that, like the dating and the signatures and stuff on it, were written the day he died.
Ooh. Okay.
I wonder if... It might behoove us to ask Lady Wingate if this, Mage Hand the Inkwell, is a relatively new addition to her husband's collection. Either that or someone put some strange magic into this.
You go downstairs and...
Meanwhile, I've been doing the nice CSI person thing of like, so what did your husband do for a living? Like, trying to like sort of ask nice things, like the nice, what's the word I'm looking for? Remembery things. So even though she probably doesn't want to think about him very much, but like just the not super invasive stuff. Okay. And then just like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. So you're just having pleasant sort of...
Yeah, I'm trying to get to know him and also be like, does he have any enemies? But without saying, does he have any enemies?
Yeah.
But if it feels like she's beating around the bush too much, Seb will just say, look, was your husband proposing something that, you know, maybe would have pissed the wrong people off?
Okay. Yeah, I think she just, part of the pleasant conversation, meanders a little bit into the conversation with Lord Wingate, which, by the way, while you guys are having this conversation, the people that are upstairs, are you going to be heading down in a moment, or are you going to stay up there? Any more investigating you guys want to do up there?
I'm gonna head back down with the inkwell, but before I do that, I want to find a regular piece of paper, not one that's written in blood, preferably. That's just like the end of a document or something that's got Lord Wingate's signature on it, and I'm gonna take it.
Are you just collecting signatures?
No,
she's collecting forgery stuff.
Jesus. Okay. Yeah, you steal a piece of
I take it.
There's no check to make. There are plenty of documents that are signed. There's like 100 of them. Nobody's gonna notice it's gone. Yeah, you.
I put it in my notebook. I put it in my bag.
All right. Cool. All right. So
Sarah sold me out.
So those of you downstairs, yeah,
I got your number.
The conversation, she says, everyone liked what I named him, Walter. Everyone liked Walter. He didn't really get involved in much of the politics. I mean, it sounds strange for someone that served on the council, but he tried to be pretty neutral with things. Always tried to make people happy. That might have made some people a little bit irritated as a result.
So what did he do? Like, did he still work, or are you both retired, or?
No, yes, he was elected, we campaigned about 1.5 years ago now. No, he's been a very instrumental figure in the founding of Gothford. I mean, we've been here since the beginning. We were just kids when we moved here, but we helped found this city and have been with it ever since. And Walter was instrumental in a lot of the regulations and the zoning that led to led to the city becoming what it is today.
So he was a very busy, hardworking sort.
Yes.
Sort of a nose to the grindstone, sun up, sun down sort of a thing.
He knew how to have fun. He always managed to take a day or two during the week, and we'd go for a walk around the park or leave the city and head out to the country for a little while. But when he was here, and he gave it his all, and he really poured his heart and soul into his work.
So was there any difference in his habits or behaviors before he died? Like any sign that he was feeling unwell or any sort of change?
No. Everything was going really well. We're very happy, and we just celebrated our 40th wedding anniversary about a week ago.
If she seems real distraught, what she does, like if she'll allow me, I'll like reach over and like pat her hand.
I think she's probably past the point of crying at this point. I mean, it's been a few days, and I think she's probably hit the ups and downs of it all. I think she's at a point right now where you can tell she's got that sort of perpetually glossy eyes and maybe a little bit kind of puffed up cheeks. She's probably cried herself out at this point, and is very sad, but is you can tell maybe a little bit happy to just be talking about it and having maybe a normal conversation that's not just about the murder or whatever it might have been itself. And so, yeah, you sort of pat her hand and she smiles and says, but no, everything was going great. I don't even know why they think that this was a murder. I can't imagine anyone wanting to do something like that. Not to Walter.
Yes, the city is not like it once was, and suspicions are high. Hopefully, we find good news for you. Either way.
And I think like clockwork at that point, you hear the footsteps heading down.
Mm-hmm. Just so you know, I've changed back into Clove, not Cat Clove. Okay.
And you see Cordelia holding, I think, walks in the room with this sort of spectral hand holding the inkwell. And Lady Wingate looks at you, sort of concerned, says, "Is everything okay?"
Yes. I've just a couple more questions, if that's all right.
Sure. Why do you have Walter's wedding or anniversary present?
Well,
I tapped Sebastian on the knee.
That is actually one of the things I wanted to ask you about.
Is Sebastian casting the...
Yeah, I'm using the Medallion of Thoughts, which does detect thoughts.
Okay.
Oops, that's... There we go. There's the text for it. So I get the surface level thoughts just for free, and then I can determine if I want to dig deeper, at which point there's a save.
Okay. I'll tell you if anything comes up that's not what's being said. So, Cordelia, you continue.
So, you are familiar with this piece?
I just got it for him last week.
Could you tell me where you got it from?
Sure. There's a little shop in West Circle, an antique store. Walter liked collecting things from the old world, and I got him that inkwell and the wardrobe as part of a anniversary present.
All right. And
Why?
You could give us the name of the shop and everything.
Yes. What does this have to do with the investigation?
It's a bit complicated at this point.
And I think, Sebastian, you're getting that through. It's like, oh God, did something I do? Is there something wrong with it? What happened? And I think you're just getting the sort of like panic that is spiraling right now in her head.
Had you been to the shop before? Are you familiar with the shopkeep?
Yes, Craig is a good friend of mine. We've shopped there for many years. We've gotten most of our furniture from him.
I know this is probably painful, but could you walk me through how you found your husband and kind of the scene of the room when you found him? I know this is hard. I'm very sorry.
Yeah, she's kind of like being pulled in a few directions at once, and sort of looks down and says, "Yes, it was late. I had just finished cleaning up the kitchen, and Walter had gone upstairs to do some more work, and he'd been up there for a while, and just said he was going up for a few minutes to get some paperwork done. And I was expecting him to come down because we were going to go for a late night walk through the park, and it had been a while. And I went up there, and the door was closed, and I knocked, and he didn't answer. And when I opened the door, the candle was still on, and everything was as normal as it could have been, except he was just sitting there, just not moving. Everything was in its place. His papers were all stacked and put away, and I walked over, and he was just staring out the window. He looked pale. And I don't remember much after that, but I guess I started screaming, and the next thing I knew, the police were here, and
I'm still holding her hand, and I like pat.
yeah,
And as she was explaining that, thoughts were more or less the same.
more or less the same, yeah.
So, your husband was a collector, you said?
Yes, she sort of gestures around the room, and there's lots of old sort of furniture and paintings and things like that around this that you're noticing. So she says he had been collecting sort of restored pieces from just from around here, around Gothford. There was a lot of history to this land, and people find things all the time, and he always collected. He restored most of them himself. A lot of these tables he'd work on out in the back, but lately he hadn't had as much time, and that's why I've developed a relationship with Craig and getting pieces that he couldn't find and surprising him. So yes, yeah.
So mostly furniture, any particular interests he had?
No, nothing specific like that.
Anything magical?
No. We make a decent amount in his position, but Craig never really put much stock in any of that. And it's expensive.
So no magic items. Was your husband a magic user?
No.
Right.
And Craig was a firm believer in sciences and math and trying to build up industry on the backs of average people here. He didn't have anything against it by any means, I know, but he had no skill for such things.
Is his name Craig or Walter?
Walter. That's what I meant. Craig is the name of the shopkeeper, as you mentioned. I just got a mistake.
So, normal day for you. Went down to Craig's shop to pick out something for your anniversary? You said.
Yes, I had gone to pick up the items that I had requisitioned from Craig just a few weeks ago.
You picked them out yourself?
Well, I had gone in before and told Craig what it was that I was looking for, and I wanted some items for Walter's study. I told him that he had this old coat rack in there that he would throw his jackets on, and he needed something a little bit nicer, so I said that a new wardrobe would be fitting, and then we got to talking about other items that I could maybe get, something for his desk, something that would make him feel as important as I believe he is or was. And I thought an inkwell would be something simple and elegant. That was sort of Walter's style.
So Craig didn't make any suggestions?
Not at the time, no, but he said that he would find some items that met the specifications and would call me when they were in. And he let me know a few days before our anniversary that he had found some items that might fit what we were looking for or what I was looking for. And I went and picked them up, and they were perfect.
Well, I think that's all I need to know. I apologize we've taken up so much of your time.
Do you think that I'm looking at the item, which I assume, did you set down? Because I don't know how long your mage hand lasts.
Yeah, I probably set it down.
And she looks at the item and she says, do you think that Craig had any, that what I bought for him could have, oh God.
I'm sure it was an accident.
We have no certainties yet anyway.
What about the wardrobe?
The wardrobe wasn't magic, right?
Didn't seem magic.
As far as we can tell, just a normal wardrobe.
Was the inkwell already wrapped when you got it from the shop? Or did you wrap it?
No, it was wrapped, and then Craig packaged it. He knew it was a gift.
Yeah. Do you mind if we borrow it?
She looks at it and she says, if it had anything to do with what happened here, I don't want it.
Understand.
Thank you for your time.
She's just sitting at the kind of at the on the armchair and just looking down at the floor and kind of going a bit catatonic.
I keep patting her hand, and I'm assuming we're about to leave. So I just like I said, we have no certainties yet. We will come back and tell you anything we find out. And like I said, I hope whatever it is good news for you.
She just looks up and nods.
And then I assume we're going to Craig's. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Anything else before you leave the house?
I got nothing.
Nope.
Morgan looks like she's thinking.
Thinking about, I don't know, anything.
It's gonna have my owl with me on my shoulder. Just one last look around before we leave. If anything sticks out.
Miss Cordova, I know this is your show, but maybe pop open the wardrobe, maybe check the inside, see if something's there as long as we're already here. Cover all our bases.
Of course. If it'll make you feel better, Lady Wingate.
I think it would if there's anything. I think so.
So do you go upstairs and check it out?
Sure.
Okay.
I want to go with, but I'll stay with her. Keep her from like.
I would go with
Losing it.
Cordelia.
Okay.
Can I just go look at the body, the hand on
Sure.
the like to see the pinpricky kind of thing?
Yeah. Okay. So the rest of you head upstairs, except for Clove and Pilar, who stays.
Sebastian said he goes with me. I assume we're in the front, and as we're going up there, I'm just like, if it does have teeth or something, I'm pushing you in.
That's why I'm coming.
All right. You go check out the body, Clove. What are you looking for specifically?
I guess it piqued my interest on the Hogar saying that the hand looked like it had been pinpricked or something like that. And so I guess I'm going to look at it to see if, with my knowledge of Thorn Whip and something like that, like if it was something that had come out and kind of has a foreseeable pattern in how the pinpricks were, that like maybe if somebody had grabbed like a Thorn Whip and it had wrapped around, or if it was just kind of a porcupine or a hedgehog or something like that.
Okay. Yeah. Make
check.
a medicine check.
Okay.
The rest of you head upstairs. We'll do the check in the roll.
16.
16. Okay. You look over it. You don't get the sign of any ligature, like something was wrapped around the hand. It's mostly, again, it's just the puncture marks underneath, like again, like needles.
Okay.
At the base of the hand. No signs of anything on the back.
Okay. Yeah. So it wouldn't be like if he had picked up the pen or something in the inkwell, like, but maybe it, like. Okay. Thank you.
Who knows? It's only one way to find out. Who wants to sign their name? You you both head upstairs. Who's checking out the wardrobe?
I don't want to touch it, but I would like to try to look like around maybe the edges of it, the outside of it, to see if there are any like markings, or I know I didn't get any magic off of it, but even any like inert like runes or anything, or see if I can find like a maker's mark or like a brand or something. We figure out who, like,
Okay.
where it came from.
Make an investigation check. Sebastian, you doing anything?
I'm trying to think for something I could do that she wouldn't think of. I think probably as she's doing that, I would just kind of tap around it with my cane, see if maybe there's some kind of hidden compartment or something.
Okay. You can make an investigation check too. Cordelia, you search around the outside, looking at it, kind of around the back, front, as much as you can see underneath. You don't see any sign of a maker's mark.
Do you even want to know what I rolled?
Oh, sorry. What did you roll?
It's really good.
What did you roll?
29.
I thought you said what you rolled.
No.
I think you might have seen my 11 in the chat.
Yeah, that's not
that's
me.
wrong.
I'll take investigation for 29, Alex.
Okay, perfect. So here's what you get.
It's
then with the
confusing
29.
because you're Alex too.
You don't see any signs of maker's mark. What you do notice is that the wood is very new looking. This does not look like a restored piece of furniture.
Well, either Lady Wingate is a very, very good lawyer, better than any of us, or Craig has really pulled one over on her. This is brand new.
Yeah, I'm inclined to think Craig's a piece of shit here. Either that or she's real good at hiding her thoughts. Well, shall we go pay dear old Craig a visit?
I think it's about that time.
The two of you go to leave the room. And as you go to leave, the wardrobe just shifts a little bit, like something inside of it moves.
Shit.
You want to pop that open with your mage hand?
Stand back.
I will ready an action to hit something if it pops out and is hostile.
Did Enzo and Hogarth go with us?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get ready.
Okay.
Right. And I cast a mage hand. I go, and lights up in 3, 2, 1. I'm trying to pop the door open.
Okay. The door's open. It's empty.
I'll stick my cane in and just kind of poke around, shift any clothes to the side or something.
There aren't any clothes in it. It's entirely empty.
Okay, so just poking the cane around the inside, just fairly regular intervals around.
Okay. I think you hit a point. You try to pull the cane away, and it just doesn't move.
Oh no.
Like it's stuck to the inside.
All right.
And suddenly you hear this. As the inside of the wardrobe begins to morph and shift and pulsate, as suddenly 2 rows of several hundred razor sharp teeth just slide out from the sides of the wardrobe like one giant maw that's slobbering as this pulsating fleshy interior. The doors of the wardrobe snap shut around your cane, which is now sort of protruding out the front of it as you are able to leap back. As the wardrobe then the feet of it begin to move as it kind of hobbles across the ground in your direction.
So like Beauty and the Beast named Nightmare.
And we're gonna go ahead and take a break right there.
I told you if it had teeth, I was throwing you in there.
All right, we will be right back. Everyone, enjoy the break screens, and we will see you soon. And welcome back, Internet. Thank you all for bearing with us during our break. We will just jump right back into the action as the wardrobe across the room lurches towards Sebastian and Cordelia, with Hogarth and Enza not far behind. We already rolled for initiative during the break to cut out all of that. So let me get some more dramatic music going. There we go. All right. Top of the round. Enza, you see this wardrobe again lumbering across the ground, gnashing teeth between the doors as it's trying to bite at Seb. You muted.
There we go. It's better?
Yeah.
Okay, there. Alright, I'm going to pull out my hand axe. It's made of wood. Maybe this will work. I'm gonna go in and attack it twice.
Okay, go ahead and make your attack.
Okay. Oh. Hand axe. First one's a 9.
9 will not hit.
Oh, wait, but I get advantage on this because it is not acted yet.
Oh, yes.
How about a 13?
13 will hit.
Okay. It takes 5 slashing damage.
Okay, 5 damage. Your hand axe. You go striking at the mimic. It sinks into the pseudo wood that surrounds the creature, and sort of buries itself and has more of like a fleshy appearance or a fleshy sort of like a texture to it as it beds in, and the mimic lets out a shriek as it happens. However, as you try to pull the axe back, it is sort of stuck, much like Sebastian's cane in the side of the mimic creature.
Oh no. Well then.
Try to pull it out.
I'm gonna try. Yeah.
My sheet is messing up. I think it's a strength check.
All right. Let's see how strong I am. Not very strong. That's a 6.
That is not enough. You try to pull it out, and it is sufficiently stuck.
Okay.
And how much damage was that again? You said 6?
That was 6 slashing damage. I'm trying to see if my Slayer's Prey thing is an action or a bonus. It's a bonus action. So I'm going to Slayer's Prey it as a bonus action.
Okay. Which remind me what that does again.
I do a little extra damage to it. And do an extra 1d6.
Okay, first time on your turn you hit that. Sure, takes actions. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
All right.
Look at it. And then it took my axe, so I can't really strike it again.
Not with the same axe this turn.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's it.
Okay. Sebastian, it's your turn.
Alright, what I want to try to do is grab the handle of my cane and push the button to make the blade shoot out. Or not shoot out, but extend.
Okay. Yeah. Do
I don't know
that.
if you want that to be an attack?
I would say let's make it an attack with advantage.
Sounds good. Click advantage. 16 to hit.
That will hit. So you're able to grab onto it, click the button, and you hold it firm enough that the blade shoots out, and then you imagine embedding somewhere into the creature as it lets out a shriek. How much damage did you say it was?
7 piercing damage.
7 piercing damage. Perfect.
I want to attempt to wrest the cane free now.
Okay. Make a strength check.
That's a 4.
That is not enough.
Okay, so what I will do then is for my next attack, because I assume that's just it's not an action to try and pull the weapon free, or
No, I'm letting you guys have that as a free action.
Okay, so for my extra attack, I am going to just give it a punch, or actually, I have these throwing knives, the darts. Can I use those as basically just a dagger?
Oh, okay. You mean like you want to use those in like melee stab into? Okay, yeah, you can do that.
Okay, so I'll do that for my extra attack action. 18 to hit.
Okay, that hits.
That's only 4 piercing damage though.
Okay.
And then let's see. I'm trying to decide if I want a flurry of blows it or not. Yeah, I think I might as well. So, key point to do flurry of blows.
All right.
We'll see how this goes with limbs and stuff potentially getting stuck, but if necessary, I will punch, knee. And it does look like we may have skipped over.
Oh, yeah. I think I hit refresh before we had the right order. So we'll do your turn next, Clove.
Gotcha. So, I need to remember flurry of blows is just 2 unarmed, I believe.
Yes, yeah, it's 2.
Okay. So, where's my unarmed strike? There it is. Punch. 14 and an 8 to hit.
The 14 hits, the 8 misses.
Okay, well, they were both max damage for 9 bludgeoning.
9 bludgeoning as your first strike hits. You follow it up with another kick. However, the creature sort of lurches to the side, and I think your kick misses because your fist is currently stuck to the creature after you strike it, and you're sort of lurched with the mimic as it is still lumbering forward.
So something I'm not sure how this interacts with the mimic's stickiness. With the Drunken Master Drunken Technique, when I use my Flurry of Blows, I gain the benefit of disengage.
Yes, so you'd have the ability to get away with it, tossing an attack of opportunity, but you're also considered grappled by the creature right now.
Okay.
So you have to get out of that first.
Okay, good to know.
All right. And we'll go ahead and pop back up the order to Clove.
I'm assuming I hear this happen or hear some sort of happen upstairs.
You're hearing some thumping upstairs. I think Pilar is trying to distract Lady Wingate enough and trying to sing her a song to distract her. Mm-hmm. But yeah, right now she is you're hearing something happening upstairs.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna use my action to dash up the stairs and get in the room.
Okay. And as you enter the room, you see your party fighting this wardrobe.
Okay. Well, since so then I'm gonna go ahead. I can't do anything since I dashed. That's my action.
You have your bonus action.
And do I have a bonus action? Do I? Oops, I didn't mean to hit that. Bonus. No, I'm good. That's it. That'll be what I do.
Okay. Then I'll pop back down to Cordelia.
I want to firebolt it.
Go for it.
I don't know how to do that. Is that an attack roll? Yes.
Yes, it is.
I don't know what I'm doing. That is a 19.
19 hits.
Can I get D10? 2D10. Oh, that's good. 11 fire damage.
Ouch.
To it.
All right, 11 points of fire damage as it strikes. It sort of the top corner of this wardrobe form sort of igniting in that moment. Whatever vestiges of wood are left. All right, so that's your
It does
action.
like catch on fire though.
A little bit, yeah.
Sweet.
Anything further?
I don't think I really have any bonus actions. Man, I really gotta remember to cast Mage Armor on myself. No, I'm just going to back up a little bit more. I don't want to get like out of the room. I just want to kind of get like
By the door.
back up kind of against the wall or by the door, yeah.
Okay. Hogarth.
Did we? I remember before the break we said something about firearms. I'm not sure if our characters decided that we were going to try and take care of this without guns, or
I don't think there was a conversation about you guys didn't have time to have a conversation about that. So
We opened it and it started trying to eat Sebastian.
Yeah.
All right, then I'm going to use my revolver.
Okay.
Take a shot.
All right. Take a shot.
Will I get sneak attack?
It is a piercing ranged weapon, and there's somebody within melee, so yes.
Cool. That's if I hit, I guess. $23.
That hits.
D8s, there we go. Ooh, dang. 13 damage. And you said do get sneak attack, right?
Yes.
Why did you give Dylan a gun again?
I don't know. I also gave everyone else guns, so
And
I feel
so
like
it
even
begins.
playing field. Just wait till you start fighting a dragon that has a Gatling gun.
Oh no.
Remind me how to use sneak attack again. Jesus Christ.
It's just what is it? 2d6, 3d6? I don't know.
3d6, yeah.
Yeah. You roll dice and then you add the numbers
And
together.
then and
then you add them to your damage.
What game
I'll
is
do
this?
math.
And then you give me that damage.
9 for sneak attack.
Wait, so it's 13 plus 9?
Yeah. So
God
22.
How do you want to kill this thing? Didn't even get a turn. I told you guys when I rolled a 3 for its initiative that it wasn't going to get a turn, and it didn't get a turn. What do you want to do?
This is why we let Dylan play with us.
Just a clean, calculated headshot.
And this is your revolver, right?
Yeah.
Which Hogarth size, I imagine, is more like it's a pretty big gun. It's a 44 Magnum.
Oh,
Most
yeah.
powerful handgun in the West. All right. You
Did I fire 5 shots or 6?
1. As you hold your point your revolver towards the creature, Sebastian sort of trying to wrest his arm free, ends up trying to pull the axe out of it. The two of you look back as you hear a clicking noise, and you see Hogarth, just expressionless face, raise the handgun towards the wardrobe. You both duck as there is a thunderous explosion, and there is smoke kicked up as a neat hole is blasted in the center of this mimic, kind of oozing this gore from the inside, and an identical hole is opened up in the wall behind it. And the mimic kind of lets out a gurgling noise, and then just sort of slumps down, begins to sort of cave in on itself. That adhesiveness sort of dissipating in that moment. You all pull rest your weapons free and back away from the creature.
Nice shot.
Well,
I guess you didn't need my help.
Well, that could have gone a hell of a lot worse.
do I know what this thing is?
Yeah, it's a mimic.
I know what this thing
Do I have
is.
to roll?
No, it's a mimic.
Everybody knows.
So I'm sure we've all
Everyone knows mimics.
read about these in the storybooks.
Glad you guys put that wardrobe out to dry.
What do we do with it?
Is the whole like form dissolving? Does it?
It's sort of no. It's just this sort of mass of sort of like its original sort of amorphous form on the ground. So it's not dissolving away, but there is this what looks like a big pile of just fleshy gore in the center of the room.
Can't exactly use it for kindling.
No, but I'm pretty sure if the Lord, if he, what's his name? Lord Walter, if he tussled with that probably would have killed him.
Well,
Definitely need to go have a talk with this Craig.
That's what I was gonna say. This Craig doesn't seem all on the up and up.
no.
But if they've done business with him forever, something maybe spooked him or something happened. I'm not sure.
You hear a dun, 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 of footsteps coming up the steps as suddenly, standing in the doorway, you see Lady Wingate, Pilar not far behind her, standing in the door, says, "What was that noise? Oh gods!
It's alright.
Oh gods! What is that?"
It's
It was your wardrobe.
it's a creature.
It's dead now. Don't need to worry. We took care of it.
You've got Hogarth to thank for that.
I don't think she even locks eyes. I think she just turns around and just starts walking out of the room and down the steps. And you hear her in a few seconds. You hear the sounds of somebody walking to the kitchen, and then you hear like a boom of like a a bottle being opened.
Woman after my own heart.
I almost feel bad. Should we check the rest of her furniture just in case?
That might be a good idea.
We should see if she picked anything else up from Craig before the anniversary that. Just in
Yeah.
case.
We should check it.
We can skip through the montage of you poking all the furniture in
We check all the furniture.
until
I'll
you're
even cast.
safe.
I'll ritual cast detect magic again and just like quick scan, like jog through the house, like.
Okay. You are aware the mimics would not come under detect magic, but any other cursed
Well,
items.
still,
Yeah.
the creepy inkwell did.
Yes, that is correct. I think you guys do it once over the house to be safe. While Lady Wingate is taking a mid-afternoon or early afternoon nip at this point, and
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
yeah.
That ain't no cooking, Jerry.
And I think as you're satisfied with that, I think before you leave, Pilar says, "So I think I'm going to stay here with just to make sure that she's okay. I feel really... I don't think we should be leaving her here,
Oh, I think that's a fine idea.
Yeah.
It's very kind of you, Pilar.
Plus, I imagine the nature of the conversation we're going to go have with Craig won't require that much sweet talking, so...
Just don't kill him, Sebastian. I mean, unless you need to, but...
I'll try.
We'll talk to him first.
All right. So,
Give us enough time to go talk to Craig and then, I guess, call the cops to clean up the mimic.
I don't imagine that they'll be too far behind. Can't do that accent. It's going a little bit Irish.
It's pretty good.
It's all right. I can't do it. Anyway, she says that she won't. Or that she will wait. All right. So, you all, I think, sensing the awkward tension in the house, make your way out.
Don't let her drink too much.
She nods and sort of gives a worried look over to Lady Wingate, who is just sort of sitting in the parlor room right now, with a bottle in hand, just deadpan staring at the wall.
We're doing a nice thing for that woman. I hope these jobs don't start turning us soft.
Well,
Doing it for money.
doing it for money, plus went and talked to a cop last night about, well, started working on that, so
Oh,
for every good deed, we got an equal one balancing us out.
I thought you wanted my help with that.
Well, yeah, it wasn't one and done. We're gonna keep looking, keep exploring our options. Besides, you were hanging out, helping out with Clove last night.
So, Craig. Is that his name?
Yep.
I think we've got two ways of dealing with this. We can go in nice and have a couple of big scary pieces of backup. Or, opposite, bad cop first. I can't imagine many people could argue with Hogarth crashing into their shop. What do you all think?
You could start good cop. I've still got a couple charges left of my mind reader here.
That's what you were doing?
Yep. Made sure Lady Wingate was being straight with us, as far as I can
Wow.
tell. No. Nothing that she didn't know, that she didn't tell us. I think I just confused myself. She wasn't lying to us as far as I could tell. Either that or she's very good at hiding her thoughts.
I mean, I've always found you can get a lot more out of somebody with a little bit of sugar than you can with a little bit of busting heads, but I think we should at least scope out this Craig person. See if they're doing dirty dealings because of pressure from somewhere else. Or
Yeah, I'm curious what this guy's motive is.
too.
Sounds like they had sort of a relationship going on, and then one day decides to off him.
I'm wondering what kind of relationship. Because Lady Wingate did say it was her relationship with him, not theirs.
That's a good point.
Maybe I've read too many novels.
Hey.
Alright, so we go in nice, and if it goes bad, you'll know what to do.
All right. We'll say you guys are catching a taxi while you're having this conversation. You're catching a cab to head back towards West Circle. as you arrive in West Circle, not too far from campus, off of University Street, only a few blocks away. You're on the busy street corner. There's some shops here, and it's a pretty crowded area. And you're making your way towards where you're given the directions to Arlington's Antiques. There's a little like a soapbox stand on the corner, and a small sort of newsboy is standing on it, hawking papers, and he looks around and says, is given kind of yelling out the news and says, "Butcher strikes again! 3 bodies found gutted. The West Circle docks. Lock your windows!" And is like selling papers to people as they're coming or walking past. As you reach the shop, Arlington's Antiques, it's a pretty kind of plain-looking store for most in most kind of respects, except for the fact that the large glass facade of the front of the building, behind it, you can see on display dozens and dozens of pieces of very elegant and restored antiquities, ranging from other furnitures like desks and bed posts and things like that, to some more fine items, jewelry and watches and things of that nature. And then there is the placard above the window, or I guess on the glass itself is painted with the Arlington's Antiques. So who's going in first?
Me.
All right. You push open the door. Little bell rings above the door. I should have had a bell noise. Damn it. I'll have that next time. A little bell above the door.
Go into.
Yeah.
Ding.
Little bell rings above the door, and the kind of echoes into the musky sort of interior of the building.
I walk around and look like I'm browsing.
Okay. You begin to walk around.
I guess
the
by
shop.
myself.
I think Sebastian would follow in after, a beat or two, and not look like they're together yet, but also browsing. I think slowly we're filling up the shop.
Okay. And do you all sort of filter in one time?
Every 60 seconds, one of us
Yes.
walks into the store and just looks around like looking at nothing.
I look at the door, disappointed that there's not a bell.
And then it rings.
If you believe hard enough.
Did an angel get its wings?
Not in this town.
Alright.
I'm gonna be just outside, like looking through the window so I can kind of see.
Okay.
I'm not gonna go in.
It doesn't take long, and a middle-aged man comes out from the back, hearing the bell ring a few times, and he sort of is a very well-dressed man, wearing a sort of a brown suit, and a little bit tall, thin. He has his sunken eyes sort of scan the few of you that as you enter, sees you, Cordelia, a little bit, nicer dressed than the rest of your companions, and approaches you and says, "Can I help you, madam?"
Possibly. This is your shop, I presume. I'm actually here looking for someone. Craig?
That would be myself, the owner, Craig Arlington.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance, Mr. Arlington.
Likewise. Is there anything you're looking for specifically, or a client that might have pointed you in my direction that I might be able to give credit towards for introducing you to my shop?
Actually, yes, a dear, dear friend of mine, Lady Wingate. I think
And
you
as
know
soon
of
as
her.
she says that name, I use the Medallion of Thoughts to pick up what he thinks about hearing Lady Wingate.
I hear you're quite good friends.
He says, yes, I have to say I'm a bit surprised given what, well, I heard the news about her husband. Have you seen her? Are you good friends with her?
Oh, very much so. Actually saw her this morning. Broken up and still in mourning, but you know, she's a strong woman. She'll be all right.
To say, when I heard the news, it's a terrible thing, really.
Nothing different in his surface thoughts?
You scanning his surface thoughts, I think what you get is I think as soon as she says, as she brings up Lady Wingate, I think there's a bunch of thought, like a barrage of thoughts and emotions and stuff that hit at that moment. And I think in his mind, you're hearing sort of, I wish it didn't have to be like this.
Okay, I am going to probe deeper. So he makes a wisdom saving throw, and with the item, the DC is 13.
Okay.
So if he fails, I gain insight. If it succeeds, the spell ends. Either way, the target knows that I'm probing into its mind. Yes, okay. So he's going to know that I'm probing either way, but hopefully I can get some more info.
Okay. So you probe into his mind. I think there is a moment where you're looking at him, Cordelia, and his eye sort of twitches for a second, and he puts a hand towards his head like he's having a migraine. You probe into his head, though, Sebastian, and you catch a few images. You see the door of the shop opening late at night. You see a large figure entering. You hear a gruff voice. You feel fear in that moment. You feel regret, conflict. The voice says, "Do this, and the debt's clean." You see this man, you see Craig from his perspective, acquiring items, frantically searching for a collection of items that he has been instructed to purchase. And you see Lady Wingate coming and picking up the wardrobe and the inkwell. And you see Craig and feel like the sadness and the regret and the conflict in that moment as he's selling them to her. And then in that moment, his head, that sort of pounding, stops, and he looks up and he looks at you, Cordelia, looks around the shop over towards Sebastian and Hogarth, and he says, "Who are you people?"
We're not the ones who sold out to kill our friend.
I don't know what you know, but it's not like that.
You had debts. They told you to do this. And you did it. My main question is, did you mean to get both of them? Did you mean to get Lady Wingate and got what's his name?
Walter
instead?
He looks around and he kind of, I think he feels trapped in this moment, and you see him looking like he wants to run. And I think you can still read his thoughts. And at this point, I think if the spell doesn't end unless he succeeds, and he said, and he's thinking in his mind, he's like, "Where can I get away? I need to get out of here."
Now I know you want to run, but that's just going to make things go badly for you.
I'd like to flank around and get behind him.
Now, You can talk to us, tell us who did this, because I think they're the ones we really want to talk with, and you'll just have to live with being responsible for killing your friend. Or we can have this go and be a much more unpleasant conversation.
Make an intimidation check with advantage.
Intimidation with advantage is a 7.
Okay. I think he needs something from you guys in order to do anything further, give the information. So I think he's not necessarily like resisting or putting on a brave face here, but he just says, we need, not here. Let's move to the back. I'll tell you everything, but you have to keep me safe.
What does that sound?
Somebody knocking at the door?
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize my mic came up. it's Sean's new bell.
I thought Sean was doing that.
Yeah.
You have to keep me safe. Knock, knock. Oh,
Oh no!
Yeah, I'll lead him to the back.
Okay. You guys still waiting outside?
I think Seb would poke his head out, motion for Enza to come in.
Perfect. All right. Yeah. Walk in there with them.
Okay, so you come back in.
Sean's
and then
got
one
a new
more time,
toy.
I want to hit the door again. Just, I like this noise. JK.
All right, not gonna do that anymore. Anyway, so you close the door, and I think he says, "Lock it, please."
Click.
Okay.
Flip the sign to closed.
To close. There you go. And you escort him back into the back rooms of the shop. And so here you can see a large workspace, dozens of pieces of furniture that are currently in the process of being restored, workbench, other tools hanging on the walls. And he stops there and looks around and says, "All right. First off, they only told me that it was only Lord Wingate, it was only Walter. Well, and a few more, but Lady Wingate wasn't a target."
Who?
Who told me?
And who the other targets were.
Really, we're just gonna need you to tell us everything.
All right. A thug came into my shop a few weeks back. A huge guy. Gura Patrick was his name. He works for the Nurian. I don't know how, but they knew things. They found out. God damn it. Found out about my business. Sometimes I use illusions and other enchantments on items in order to increase my sales a bit. And this business isn't that profitable on its own, and you need people interested in it, and it helps drive up sales. They see a bench or a chair in their friend's home, and put just a minor enchantment spell on it, something that makes them interested in it more so than they might be otherwise. And
Listen, Craig. I'm not interested in your antiquing business.
all right,
I'm interested in the murders you're facilitating.
I know. I wanted nothing to do with them. I swear to you, I had nothing against Walter. The man and his wife, they have been nothing but good to me. Loyal customers for a long time now. Gura came in and they knew about what I'd done, and they threatened to expose me if I didn't
if I didn't do something for them. They needed me to procure some items that I wouldn't sell in my shop otherwise, and sell them to some of my customers. Lord Wingate was one of them. There's also Lord Vincenzo, Lady Otero, and the other one, Lord Tarantino was the other. Just, I don't know why they wanted them dead. But I didn't have a choice. I would have been ruined otherwise.
And have you sold all the items to these other lords and ladies?
Lady Ontero just picked up the last of them today.
Are they all the same kind of items? What kind of stuff are we talking about?
I don't know the full effects of each of them, but Lord Vincenzo was... there was a rocking chair. Lady Ontero was an antique horn or trumpet. And Lord Tarantino was an antique suit of armor. Back from the war.
Did you handle these objects?
Carefully, yes. I knew they had some sort of ill magic or curse on them. The nature of which I didn't dare find out. All I knew was it would likely be deadly to whoever had the misfortune of using them.
Did they put you in connection with new suppliers, or were you just supposed to find...
No, they had sellers lined up, black market dealers. I never got any names. I just was told where to pick them up and when. I didn't even handle the money.
And this thug that showed up, Podrick, that's your only point of contact?
Yes.
Who you're afraid of?
Yes. I don't know how he knows or what his motivations are behind this, but if he finds out that I said anything, it'll likely mean my life.
Seems fitting, but who am I to judge?
I can still recall the items. I can contact the buyers and hopefully keep anybody from being hurt. I need to know that Gura is dealt with.
Would I have any knowledge of who Gura is, given some history with the Norreans?
Yeah, I'd say you might know the name. Isn't somebody that maybe ran in the same circles as you,
Sure.
wasn't in the fighting ring, but I think he is a bit of an enforcer, more of the muscle, runs a small gang or pack of Nurian enforcers.
Okay. Okay. Well, Craig, I am familiar with this Gura, this Patrick, and certainly not my favorite customer either, but trying to decide whether or not you're worth messing with him, and by extension the Norreans.
I didn't mean for any of this. I can stop it. I can get the items back. need to know that they're dealt with and that girl isn't going to show up here in a few weeks and demand the same again. And if he kills me, he's just going to find somebody else to do it.
I think me and my compatriots need to have a conference about this, if you'll excuse us.
All right.
I think we just kind of sidle over to one side of the room.
Sorry.
Well, we've got a couple of options.
I think we should try to save the people who've got stuff already.
It's the decent thing to do, and certainly what Pilar would vote for if she were here.
Well, it's gonna get a lot harder to solve this murder investigation if there's more bodies.
Also, I imagine if we can insert ourselves into that, lords and ladies tend to be very generous if you save their lives. So if we could be a part of that, that might pay out for us. As well as, you know, keeping people from being murdered and all that.
But is it worth the animosity of the wolves? And I would let them know what I know about Patrick and, you know, approximately how many gang members that I think he is in direct control of.
Yeah, and I'll also say it's Podrick.
Podrick.
Well, we do take on a risk trying to deal with him, but if we can get him alone. Though
If he's getting sloppy, may piss off the Nurians.
Though I don't imagine he's the type we can talk down.
Nah. Well, wouldn't say no to often an Nurian or two, but again, you need to figure out if this is his doing or who gave the order for pissing off someone who's more than we can chew.
Or we save the lords and ladies, we turn in the names, and that's that.
I mean, we were just asked to look into this so we could pass on what we figured out on the Mephistosi, let them take care of it. So, if it turns out to be a big enough issue, I feel like I will probably end up getting involved anyways.
Yeah, if we just go tell Heron what we learned, give him the names, tell him it's probably something to be expedited. Could be we don't have to dirty our hands any further.
We should try to see what we can do about those other items, though.
I'm sure the Mephistosi can take care of one Nurian thug that's getting in their way.
Hogarth, you've been awfully quiet. What do you think?
I think that's probably the best bet. I trust your judgment.
So, go tell Heron, tell him to tell the Mephistosi, and tell Craig here to recall the items toot sweet.
And if he needs help recalling those items, might be good for our faces to be out there.
Of course.
Yeah.
This job did not pay very much.
Yeah, certainly not enough to go deal with Podrick ourselves. Alright. Well, Craig, I think you should call those lords and ladies and get the items back right away. We'll talk to our people, see if we can't get them to deal with Podrick.
All right. And they'll protect me, right?
Or at least take care of Podrick.
I guess I don't have much of a choice.
No, you do not.
I mean, unless you're willing to pay us.
I could maybe offer something if you could go take care of him right now yourselves.
How much?
I don't know how much the Mephistosi are paying you. I don't know if I can match that.
Well, let's hear your offer and we'll tell you if it's good enough.
How much is your life worth to you?
Sort of runs his hands through his hair and looks around the shop.
I could probably pull together 100 gold pieces.
And none of it's like cursed pirate treasure or anything.
No, I don't. I don't offer any. I don't deal in that sort of thing. I promise. I can even. I have something else I could throw in. And he kind of walks towards the side of the room. There's a big tarp over an item, and he rips off the tarp. And you see this strange contraption, this working of metal gears and these sort of 6 sort of bent poles that all come to like sort of a point at the top, and there are some crystals embedded into it. And he says, I don't know if you're interested in this sort of thing, but I do own and have the ability to operate an essence loom. And if you needed anything, I don't have very many gems, but if you ever needed the services of having something crafted, I could do that for you here if that's anytime, no charge. You just have to bring the materials and I'll do it. That and the 100 gold pieces, that has to be enough, please.
It's
A
a
brief word, Craig, and just circle back up.
He's just sitting there sweating.
Seems like a pretty good deal to me, I think. From what I know of Podrick, 100 gold and an essence loom for no cost is probably worth it.
Aye. If we can get Podrick alone, they'll never even know it was us. And it is possible we can still sell the information to the Mephistosi. If we're quick about it.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, I'll see why we can't do both.
as soon as we're done here, let Craig call the lords and ladies, get the items back. Clove, see if you can call your joint, see if Heron's there so he can get word out. And then we go hunt us a wolf.
I still think we should make ourselves seen in the recovering of the artifacts. Never hurts to make a couple of friends.
At least with the lady, name is now blanking.
Ontero?
Yeah, Lady Ontario just picked it up. We could probably do that one pretty quick.
Alright. Alright. Craig. It's a bit of a low offer, but let it never be said we didn't help out a man in need.
Thank you. I'll get the money together right away. I'll make the calls, make sure that that everything's brought in. You don't know how much this means. I'll get to it right away.
And he goes sort of jogging across the room to his phone and begins to dial out the numbers to call and recall the items. So how do you guys want to be involved in the recovering of these items? Do you want to go out and retrieve them yourselves, or?
That's probably, for them, the safest option.
Yeah. But Cordelia is like the only one who can like interact with the object, though. None of us want to touch it. Really.
Thinking.
I mean, because do we want to be associated with Craig specifically if they're about to find out that these things are that he just sold them are bad?
Well, we could spin it a couple ways. We could say, we found out, there's been an attempt on your life, and it was Craig who provided the information. He was under duress. Or we could take more credit for ourselves.
Craig,
Yes.
do you ever deliver items?
Yes. Very often.
You have a truck?
Yes.
Well, I think that's part of our answer.
If you need to use it, I can go ahead and bring it up front.
I think that's for the best.
All right.
So we spin it as, after he leaves, so we spin it as independent investigators. Craig had nothing to do with it, he didn't know. And we've taken care of the problem, thanks to him. He looks like the good guy, we look like the people who saved their lives. Maybe something good comes of it.
Sounds good to me.
I make sure there's like, crap, what are those things called? You know those blankets that you use for like moving?
Mm-hmm.
Those.
Yes, moving blankets.
In the truck. Oh, sure. I just assumed they had a better name.
I have no idea. I just call them moving blankets.
I don't know. But so
I
some of
think they're-
those, so that for like, because I know like a couple of them are small stuff, but then for like the rocking chair, we can like cover it up
Sure.
and then take it out. Well, I guess a suit of armor is probably bigger than a rocking chair.
And while he's pulling the truck around and we've kind of finished up, I'm borrowing his phone and I'm calling the speakeasy and asking to talk to Heron.
Okay. You call over and Samantha answers. I don't think you have. I don't think she would answer. Be like, close speakeasy.
Yeah.
I think it would just be like, hello.
Oh gosh, what was my I don't even remember. It was dragon piss or something. Was this?
Oh yeah. What is
It's hold on. I'm looking in Discord, but of course I'm also holding a child. Same time, I can do two things at once. Code word is I think what. Coffin varnish.
coffin varnish? That's it.
Coffin varnish. It's clove. It's what I say into the phone.
She goes, oh, hey, what's up?
Can I talk to Heron, please? I'm sure he's there drinking.
Oh yeah, he's here. Yeah, 1 second.
Thank you.
Puts the phone, rests the phone on the hook, and you can hear some muffle like, hello?
Heron,
Yeah, what's up?
it's Clove. We're about to go into the Cave of Death or whatever Pilar called it. But we wanted to let you know we've talked to Lady Watergate. Wingate. Thank you. And we have determined that it's the Nefarian thug gubernatorial candidate something or other.
Oh, you mean girl?
Yeah. There you go. That's the name. Yep.
Yeah, that name is weird. All right. So he murdered Lord Wingate?
He worked. He threatened, basically, an antique dealer, and forced him to procure some bad items. And those items are not only to kill Lord Wingate, but a whole bunch of other lords and ladies around town. And apparently all the materials are out. The last one was picked up recently. We're going to try and get them back. And this Craig gentleman is working on getting all the antiques back as well.
Huh. You know have any reason why he would do something like that?
Have not figured that out, but we've at least figured out who's behind it to a point.
Huh. Well, it's real noble of you and everything to go after try to save those people, but I'm more interested in what's going on with Gura.
And did I say we were? Oh, well, I did say we were gonna go get the stuff.
Yeah, you did.
Well, the job was to do the murder investigation. We figured that out. If you can get some more money, then maybe we can find out a little bit more about Gura.
I'll have to get in touch with my contact and find out. I mean, if this thing's gone a little bit bigger than we originally thought, I bet they'll be able to up their price a bit. Here's what I'll say. I'd be inclined to say let the authorities deal with the items. If you go after Gura, take him in, or at least find out what's going on, I can almost guarantee you we can get a much better sum out of this than the 25 gold we were promised. Especially if this thing goes up the ladder. If we find out that the Nurian were taking out hits on Mephistosi contacts, that comes pretty damn close to a breach of the covenant.
Well, I'll talk to the group. I'll see what they want to do. But see what you can find out, and we'll talk soon.
All right. He hangs up.
I go back to the group, and I let them know Heron thinks there's more money in it, but he doesn't think we should help the other lords and ladies. But I'm down to help them if you guys are. I think making a few friends higher up is probably a good thing.
Well, with Hogarth driving, I can't imagine it would take long, and who knows? We might get there and a couple of them might already be dead.
Then they might be willing to pay more if their contacts are getting knocked off.
So, we either save some lives and make some friends, or we call the cops and maybe add to our reward that way. I can't imagine it'll take long.
Okay, so you guys decide to get in the truck and go retrieve the items. All right, so here's what I'll say. I think what happens then, you spend the next few hours, I think, driving around Upper Gothford, probably the rest of the afternoon into the evening, retrieving these items. I think you first stop over at Lord Vincenzo's house. Older man, and he answers the door, and you kind of go through the awkward conversation of you have a rocking chair that's cursed, or whatever it is that you guys are saying.
It's not awkward at all. I'm very official about it.
Give us a taste of that then.
Oh man. I'm gonna straighten up my suit.
You have a clipboard.
Do I have a clipboard? I don't think I have a clipboard, but what I do have...
There might be one in the truck.
I druid craft a clipboard for her.
I don't need a clipboard, I've got nothing to put on it.
You don't have to know that. It just looks more official that way, you know.
I'm going to, oh crap, where are my illusion spells? I have them. I'm actually going to, once we get close, oh wait, can I make this one move? I'm sorry you guys, I've never used any of these spells before. Yeah, so I'm gonna like straighten up my suit and everything. And then once we get close, I'm going to major image the truck. I think like the back of the truck, like this. What kind of truck is this?
It's the truck kind. I think it's like a.
Is this like a moving van, or is this like a pickup truck, or like a?
It'd be like a
flatbed?
covered, like a covered, like a moving truck.
Okay, so I'm going to do a major image along like the side of the truck that's on the side of his house, because I can do a 20-foot cube, so however much I can cover, and I want to make it look like like a really official like agency van,
Okay.
with like a logo on the side that's like, I don't know, unauthorized artifact investigation agency on the side of the van.
Okay.
There's the first words. Nope, I'm not worried about what the letters make. And then, yeah, I'll put that there. And then I'm also going to, once I walk up to the door, because that's a concentration spell, but this is not, I'm going to minor illusion like a name badge on myself.
Okay.
That says that I'm like deputy director of this agency.
Okay.
Seems right.
I think the man opens the door, and I think you had Craig call ahead, right?
Yes.
Okay. So he opens the door and says, Craig said you were coming.
Oh, good. He called you.
What? Who are you people?
It's a very long story. Deputy Director Nero, pleased to make your acquaintance.
Pleasure to meet you, Deputy Director.
And we're here for the artifact.
The artifact? It's a rocking chair. What?
Of course it is, my lord. Please take us to the rocking chair.
What? I don't understand what's wrong with
You don't need to. It's all right. Trust me.
All right.
Probably melts your bones or flays the flesh from your skin. You know, nothing you want to have happen, so better let us take it and get it out of your hair.
Okay. Go ahead and make a which I don't know. I think Cordelia is sort of leading this.
So probably offering her advantage rather than...
Yeah, I'll give her the advantage. So go to make a persuasion check.
Not deception?
Well, no, I'll give it deception. Deception works here too.
Yay. 17. That was not very good.
Oh, that's pretty good. He lets you in, brings you back to the rocking chair, which is a very simple looking fixture. I mean, if you just imagine a rocking chair in your mind's eye, that's what it looks like. It's just a plain brown 4-poster rocking chair. And he just says, I don't know what's wrong with it, but all right, you can take it as long as we're getting a refund, right, from Craig.
You'll have to take that up with him, sir.
All right, go ahead then, and thank you for your helping, Director Nero.
Of course, we're here to serve the city. And any trouble in the future? Give us a ring.
The unusual artifact investigation something. All right.
I leave.
Okay. You take that. We'll just say that happens 3 more times.
After that first time, as we're back in the truck, I just kind of, as we start driving away, turn to Cordelia. So how is it supposed to help us make friends if you're using a fake name? They're not gonna know who you are.
I use a fake name like 90% of the time. They've seen our faces, and if we show up needing something, they'll know who we are and they know what we did. Which is take a bone-melting rocking chair out of their house, apparently. All I wanted to do is...
Or was it a flesh-filleting one?
Or both.
Why don't both?
Fillet of
Por
fish.
qué no los dos?
That would have been the worst. Good one. All I'm trying to do is put a face out there, and mine is pretty memorable. Doesn't matter what name they call me.
All right.
It's
So,
really
yeah.
just me remembering what names I've told which people.
Well, you're on your own there, Nero.
All right. So, like I said, do that 2 more times.
They're all still alive?
Lady Otero's. Well, I'm getting to that.
Okay.
Lady Otero's and Lord Tarantino's place of living. So Lady Otero is fine. She has the trumpet. Hasn't used it at all yet, and you're able to recover that. Lord Tarantino's a different story. You arrive at his house, and nobody answers. We'll just say you make your way inside. This is like the name of his home. You head downstairs into the basement or searching through the home, not able to find the armor. As you reach the basement, you see there's a collection of old weapons and armor and suits of it, just all throughout the place, since it's a rather large collection. No sign of Lord Tarantino, though. But there's a rather bad smell. And as you reach the back corner of the room, there is one set of armor that is distinguished from the others in that it appears to be oozing blood.
Well, that's not a good sign.
Well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Yeah. So, do we call the cops for this one and skedaddle?
Do you want to possibly call that new contact you made? He may be able to sway or make an impression on the Nurian if he helps them out, quote unquote.
Oh, I certainly didn't get his number, and I can't imagine any of this business ends up shaking out well for the Nurians, so probably best for that endeavor if he stays out of this.
Okay.
This seems more like a bag it and tag it for the cops, let them deal with a evil suit of armor rather than us.
Probably. We should warn them.
Yep, so at this point Sebastian probably knows like the equivalent of the anonymous police hotline, the tip line or something. Heads upstairs to find a phone and just like, you want to go to Lord Tarantino's house? He's been eaten by an evil suit of armor. And just leave it at that and
Tell them not to touch it. I
They
say.
probably have people that deal with that. They'd know.
Oh, my name? My name is Click.
All right. So you collect the other pieces of armor or the other artifacts and bring them back to the shop,
Mhm.
to Arlington's.
Hey, does Lord Tarantino have a bunch of like trinkets and stuff in his house?
Yes.
I know that look in your eye, Cordelia. Probably best if we leave no evidence of our passing here.
Is there anything really pretty?
There's lots of really pretty things.
You're probably right.
Trust me, I've done some B&E work in my time. We don't want to leave any more evidence than we've already left.
Oh, I'm
He says
sorry.
as
I
he's,
didn't
like,
know you were
wiping
the
off
only
the-
one of us that had broken into somebody's house before.
You talk your way in, I break my way in. Same difference.
I don't think you know as much about me as you think. Whatever. Fun sucker. Well, lead the way. Aren't you supposed to open the door for me?
You're the one with the fancy magic hand that leaves no fingerprints.
All right. So you guys get
If
back
he
in
leaves
the
before me, I pocket something.
Do you leave before her?
Oh, I'm gonna essentially flip a coin. 1 yes, 2 no. Nope, I'll wait until she leaves first.
I try to do it anyway.
Make a sleight of hand check.
24.
I don't think I can roll perception that high.
Yeah, and I assume your passive isn't that high. So,
Nope. 13.
all right. I think you pocket a. What would Cordelia want? Like a piece of jewelry, like a small like dagger, a.
Yeah, I think probably a piece of jewelry.
Okay, so you there's maybe on display. There's a gold sort of ornate necklace hanging on one of the busts, and you kind of slip that into your pocket as you are walking out.
Awesome.
All right, but
I'm
you're
gonna
all
have to start marking stuff if my inventory is stolen. Like in Skyrim.
yeah.
That's the little red hand icon.
All right. All right. So you make your way back to the antique store, and Craig is there and helps you unload all the items back into the shop. And he says,
So, was everybody else okay?
Lady Ontero and Lord Vincenzo were. Lord Tarantino, less so.
Oh, God.
I can put the thing on.
All right. Well, I guess I'm glad that not everybody was hurt by that. Now I have to give out refunds. Oh, God. Okay.
Well, only 2 of them, so that should help. Silver lining and all that.
Probably will need to refund Lady Wingate for her troubles as well. All right. So, and Gura.
We're working on that next.
Did Gura tell you he was going to check on you or anything like that?
Yes, he was supposed to come back and check. He didn't give a specific time that he was going to check in, but I imagine it'll be soon.
Would it be that soon?
and you hear a voice.
You have a customer out here. You back there, Craig?
And Craig just sort of goes white.
I think that's him.
I'll stall him. Come up with a plan. I straighten my suit. I go walking up.
All right, you walk out, and you see three figures entering the store. One of them, a tall, but broad-shouldered, elven man with slick black hair, leather jacket, not wearing a shirt underneath, just the leather jacket. And he has, I think he's probably smoking like a cigar or something. It's just like really like chewed on in the corner of his mouth. He's puffing on it as he enters, hands in his pockets, just looking around. Two other figures you see, a dwarf and a halfling that are kind of walking in behind him. And you do notice, I think off the bat, that all three of them seem to have holsters and guns on their persons. And the tall, dark-haired elven man looks down at you. Who are you?
Oh, I'm Amelia. Can I help you gentlemen with something?
Here to talk to the owner.
Oh, Mr. Arlington. Unfortunately, he had to step out, but he should be back in a couple of hours or so. Is there something I can help you with until then? Or you're welcome to wait.
Well, I think Craig and I have a bit of business to be dealing with.
I lost the accent somewhere through. I can't decide if I want country or Irish. I think it was Irish to begin with.
Both.
Craig and I had a bit of business to be dealing with. You don't mind if I look around, do you?
Oh, feel free to browse anything you like. Be careful of the glass, but and let me know if I can help you find anything, identify anything for you. It's sort of my expertise.
I appreciate it. But it also recommends that...
God, I can't get the accent.
It also recommends that you get on the horn and get your boss in here as fast as you can.
Oh, of course. I'll call him right away. Who should I say I'm calling for? I apologize.
Just tell him he has a friend here.
All right.
And as you go to turn to leave, and he says,
And darling, I recommend you hurry. My friends, they've, well, they're very interested in antiques, but they're just awfully clumsy.
and you notice that one of them just sort of pushes like a rack of the jewelry into like off the counter and onto the floor, where it just sort of smashes to pieces.
I don't flinch. Mostly because I don't care about his shit.
Yeah, that too.
Right away, sir. I go to the phone and I call my own phone number at my apartment.
Okay, it rings for a bit.
I hang it up. I'm just waiting for everybody else to do something.
Yeah,
I just
so
keep
in the
doing that. I
back-
just keep calling myself.
Okay, in the back,
Just
what are you guys
waiting.
doing?
And then every once in a while, I'm like, I'm trying.
Is
I promise.
Is there because we unloaded and brought stuff in through the back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then can I circle around and come through the front door?
Sure. Yeah, you can do that. You head on back, you circle around, and Cordelia, you see Hogarth comes in through the front door.
And then I leave. And then I'd like to come back in through the front door. And I just want to swing the door back and forth. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I can't do it that fast. It
Yeah,
won't.
it's okay. And just sort of.
I think everyone in the. I think Dura looks back towards the door as you're just sitting there, like standing there, going in and out and in and out.
Oh, do you like the bell, sir? It's new.
Yes, it is a good addition to the store.
As that is happening, we'll confer with Enza and Clove. Either of you want to start things off loud?
I mean,
I get the drop on him if possible.
I could go kitty form and pounce on him.
Greg, you got somewhere else you could go for a minute?
He says, I could leave.
Might actually want to stick a little close in case they got friends waiting outside.
Oh, God. You're probably right. Looks around. I think I can find a place to hide.
Right.
The bell that I'm ringing.
Yeah.
I'm in Thieves' Cant. I'm telling the number of guys that are in the shop. and hoping that Seb
Okay.
catches on.
I would let them know. Okay, so there are 3 of them out front, and yeah. So
That's pretty
now
good.
I'll know how many people there are.
Thanks.
All right, I like it. All right, so you guys all know how we are right now.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What kind of cat does Clove turn into?
It's a panther. Oh, the actual cat when I do
Yes.
cat form?
No, just a cat.
It's a calico, black and blondish and white, all spottily in like whatever kind of caftan hazel pattern I've got on.
Oh, Paisley cat. Yeah. Okay, sorry. I had to know.
So those of you in the back, any game plan?
So so is there like some sort of door? Is there some sort of curtain? Is there some sort of what is between me and the
There's
front?
a door that leads in the back of the shop. Yeah.
I think Seb kicks open the door, ducks inside.
I pounce out.
Yeah, so these are, I believe, the actions we're readying in terms of game mechanics.
Okay, so you're readying to jump out and start just opening fire and stuff at a moment's
Pretty
notice.
much.
Okay, perfect.
Well,
Yeah, I will. I'll go ahead and, as long as all the talking is done, I'm assuming all the talking is done. I'm gonna go ahead and transform into panther form and get ready to, as soon as the door is open, pounce out.
So
Okay.
I'll open the door, fling a couple throwing knives, duck down, you shoot over my shoulder, Enza, and
Surprise
see what
cat in
that
your
does.
face.
Okay.
Sounds good.
So I think as Dura is standing there, he and you're opening the door, Hogarth. I think he turns towards you and says,
All right, boy. I'm afraid this store is closed now. You best be leaving.
How close is he to me?
no more than like 15 feet away.
Okay. Then I'll just like stop the door and just sort of take a step forward and say, "Oh, my apologies."
And I think at that point, once the bell has stopped ringing for a little bit, Seb will fling open the door with a loud smack, and we do our things.
Okay, I'm gonna have, so those of you that had the surprise, like element of surprise here, I'm just gonna have you go and do what you had planned. So Seb jumps out, throwing knives, Enza taking her shot, and Clove lunging out in panther form. All at Dura.
I think Seb will go for the minions.
Okay, so I'll make your attack rolls.
Okay. What is it? Oh, +4.
Can I have cast mage armor on myself?
Yes, I'll allow that.
Thank you.
Why am I just rolling relatively well for damage? So those two knives were 24 and an 18 to hit for 7 each, max damage.
I got a
Alright.
17 to hit with my claw attack.
Okay.
All
and
right.
I also got a 17.
All right, everyone hits.
A
1d4 plus 2. And he has to make a DC 12 strength throw. Yeah, strength saving throw or be knocked prone. And if he is knocked prone, then I get to make a bite attack against him as a bonus.
All right, let me make the strength save. Well, that's a natural 20.
Well,
so
then fine.
a total of 22. So he's knocked on the ground. So here's what happens. The two of you jump out, or the three of you come running out. Cordelia, as you're standing there, just pretending to make phone calls. Hogarth is here standing back. Hogarth, I'm going to say you don't get a surprise attack because you're kind of right there. But all of you watch as, in this slow motion action movie way, the three of you fan out. Sebastian takes his throwing knives and hurls them at the dwarf and the halfling to either side of the room. The panther comes lunging out across the counter just as Enza fires her shot. You did fire, I think. Did you take a shot? Okay.
Yeah.
Just as Enza fires her shot, and both of them, the bullet and the panther, kind of hitting at the same time, and the snarling explosion. And as the dust sort of settles there in a moment, you see the two shorter figures sort of staggering from these throwing knives stuck in them. And Dura standing there, the gun or the shot from the gun having just kind of like grazes out of his face, like leaving this nasty looking wound along the side, and this scratch from the panther raked down the front of his body. However, in that instant, as that happens, you watch as all of their wounds immediately heal back up, having absolutely no effect. And Dura looks out at all of you, his eyes then glinting this animal sheen to them, this like cat-like eyes almost. And he says,
No, I wouldn't have recommended doing that. But fine. Let's have some fun.
and he looks around, and then he locks eyes with you, Sebastian, for just a moment. And you see this look of sort of familiarity across his face. And he says,
El Toro.
In the flesh.
I lost a bit of money on you. Let me see if I can get it back.
And you watch as his body morphs and kind of cracks and bends as he swells into this wolf-like form, almost tearing at the jacket, but you get the impression of why he doesn't wear a shirt underneath it. As the leather facets of it sort of strain against his, like, the bulging, like, werewolf muscles, the face extends into these ragged and jagged fangs, and he lets out this snarling growl before lunging across the counter towards you. And that's where we're going to end our session here for today.
Well,
Woof.
Woof, indeed.
Whoa, doggy.
don't suppose we can level up to 6 in the middle right before this fight starts.
Nope.
6? It's gonna be great.
Nope. Oh, you're gonna have to. You dug your grave here. Dig your way out of it. I don't think that's how that works. But anyway,
It is if you're a zombie.
yep. So we'll go ahead and we'll pick up on this next week to see how our
2 weeks from now.
adventurers. Oh, 2 weeks from now. Sorry, I always forget this isn't weekly. 2 weeks from now, to see how everyone deals with the situation, whether fleeing or fighting, and see how this turns out. So thank you everyone out there for watching, for enjoying. Those of you that are listening to the podcast, thank you for listening, and we will have more drama for you shortly. In the meantime, make sure you check out our Twitter for all sorts of updates. You can look in the links below on our Twitch page here for any all of our shows, links to everything pretty much, links to our YouTube, Discord channel if you want to join that. We also have our website, which you can conveniently save on your browser and just have all GGK things at the drop of a pin. But you can do that. Oh, the GGK website, sorry, I should probably give out the link. It's ggk.smvi.co, and you can find everything linked there for your convenience. As far as this coming week, we will have Wild Space on Monday. We will, I think that's the only thing we have until the next session of Wonderworld. That would be a week from this Thursday. But of course, you can check out all of our announcements, and everything will be up on our Twitter. And the podcast for this will, if you're listening to it, it's up already. If you're not, it is it's going to be up the following week from when our live shows premiere. And if you are listening to the podcast, check out our live shows. They will be a week from when you are probably listening to this. So just convenience like that. Anyway, That's all I have. I will stop rambling now. Thank you, everyone, for watching, listening, enjoying, and until next time, good game and good night, Internet.
Good night,
Good night,
Internet.
Internet.